All right, everybody. John here with you alongside Alec Nava. It's a Thursday, May 23rd, 2024. How's everybody doing out there today? We're going to get into the national anthems. Edmonton Oilers, it's Connor McDavid, RNH, Zach Hyman, Matthias Ekholm, Evan Bouchard, Leon Draisaitl, Evander Kane, Dylan Holloway, Darnell Desharnais, Ryan McLeod, Warren Fogle, Derek Ryan, Sam Carrick, Matthias Janmark, Connor Brown. It's going to be Stuart Skinner in net. And for the Dallas Stars, head coached by Peter DeBoer, Wyatt Johnston, Jason Robertson, Logan Stankoven, Thomas Harley, Miro Heiskanen, Matt Duchene, Mason Marchment, Joe Pavelski, Esa Lindell, Kris Tanev, Tyler Seguin, Jimmy Benn, Evgeny Bonov, Sam Steele, Roddick Fox, or Craig Smith with Ryan Suter and Alexander Petrovich. And Jake Ottinger will be the goaltender of record. Alec, in this series, and maybe some of those reservations kind of extend how we felt after game one. I'm not saying I do yet, but some people think that series between the Rangers and the Panthers are over. I think this series might be over before it starts, but how do you see it?
No, with the way that Dallas is playing these games under DeBoer, I feel you made a good point about this being must-win territory for the Oilers. Take advantage of the fact that the Stars, they have not won a game under DeBoer, but that could change tonight. But the Oilers, they have been an offensive powerhouse throughout the season, and that is still true in the playoffs after they took down the Canucks in a hard-fought 7-game battle. Nothing's over until we say that they can confidence that it is over. Because that was, they had the advantage on every facet against the Oilers, with the exception of top-end but that's widely agreed upon that the Oilers, they have and entering you name into the mix. Evan Bouchard to join the likes of Zach Hyman, McDavid, Draisaitl, and the Duchene.
So heading in for Edmonton, 4-1 against LA. Over Leon Draisaitl, 8-16-24 plus 2. Connor McDavid, 2-19, as you mentioned, Evan Bouchard, 5 goals, 15 assists, 20 points, and a plus 10. That is gigantic because on the other end, I have cold Darnell Nurse, 2 points, minus 10. So you have one defensive pairing that's hot, locking down, and one that is not. And you can't afford to do that against Dallas in the series.
No, you can't, considering the depth and the structure that Dallas has under DeBoer, turning things around. What a turnaround has been. Perhaps this is the best Dallas team that we've seen since the 1999 Cup year. They're well-rounded, and offense shares the wealth and operates with cohesion. 5th in Corsi percentage during the regular season, and while they're 8th in the playoffs, they have their ability to control puck possession effectively, even though they missed defending champs. It's been a while since we last seen a team take on the last year's Stanley Cup champions. This might be a first century.
Yeah, and if Dallas does get past in this round, then they're going to have to either contend with Florida or New York, maybe one of the toughest roads ever as far as getting to a Stanley Cup final, and Dallas can do it. So again, I got 3 options. I'm using TNT. You can use True TV, which will push it ahead, and use you'll be ahead of me anyway. But I'll start off here, and then we'll switch across as we normally do. As it's underway, Evan Bouchard, this one goes in around the end board, stolen by Matt Duchene. Again, I believe no Roope Hintz still, so we'll see how many games it is before he gets back into the lineup. But Matt Duchene with that double overtime goal, which we called in that memorable game. I think he's really enjoying his time as a Dallas Star. I don't think he expected to be a free agent, but this worked out well for him. Shot from the point, catapults, and this will go right, left to right here for the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid is a slow half pass. Will get picked off into the sea of victory green as Esa Lindell gets bumped. This goes all the way down to Stuart Skinner. Again, I got plenty of notes prepared. I was a few minutes, a little bit later in the pregame than I wanted to be, but we'll get all that stuff squared away through the commercial break. As this one sent in around the end boards for Seguin, and now Miro Heiskanen will chip this off the glass from the backhand. As this will go all the way back to Desharnais. He is a big body, but again, he's not the best of defensive efforts back there. So we'll see if they can pick on Nurse and Desharnais in that mix. Leon Draisaitl, I do like that defensive effort there. They're going to need that from the German superstars. Thomas Harley Can't keep this in across the blue line. Evander Kane was hounding him, and this goes up and on a play with 18:33 in the first.
So with that on the way out, no, I know, Red Box placement. Hey, for a fact here, that between Dallas and Edmonton, this could be a 5 or 6 game series. Dallas to win. Canada's last hope is Edmonton. But we all know how this story could be like on most nights because Dallas, this could be a St. August story.
It could be. And again, I agree with you, and this is why I threw it out there, though, Alec. I think this is a must-get game one for Edmonton. Set this on the right foot and show me that things are going to be different. That's what I want to know for the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah, it's consistent. Like the Toronto Maple Leafs are consistent, but you got to do something else. Follow-up save a couple times, and Jamie Benn gets robbed on the second effort. So Stuart Skinner already amongst the actions, the first 3 shots on goal for Dallas. And Alec, I think that goes to show you that the shot totals that the Vancouver Canucks had that were anemic, that's not going to happen here against Dallas. Here's a chance off the rush now. Sent in behind the end boards. It bounced up in the air for Zach Hyman. This will go D to D. Sent back around the end boards now for the Victory Green. First game of the series in the Western Conference Finals. Covered a pair of game ones over the last couple of days. I think I might jump back in on Sunday against the basketball son. Maybe the Mavericks as well. Might take a couple days away from this because I'm not sure. Depending on what happens today, we'll see back for Saturday. I just don't know how contested this is going to be, admittedly. As Essa Lindell puts it in around the end boards for Hiskin. Trying to make a toe drag between his legs. Now a little dipsy doodle there for Pavelski. Dallas will pick up the puck back near the right side dot. And back to RNH. They'll chip it to the left side red line now. And now Tanev will send this in around the end boards. Picked up by Edmonton. Here's a chase for Matt Duchene as this is hand grenaded in. Essa Lindell trying to use his body to hold off the puck. Again, the first 3 shots on goal for Dallas. It bounces up in the air. This is turned over. Edmonton gets to it. Here's a cross pass, and Jake Ottinger put his glove up there for a save, but it didn't hit from RNH. As Desharnais sends it around the end boards. Again, Eddie Olschuck, I do mention sometimes when he throws up the commentary, make saves that he think you should. You kind of threw that on Jake Ottinger a little bit to react there, but again, that was a bullet. Probably didn't expect the turnover. Draisaitl off the give and go from Kane as this is near the right side boards now. Suter tries to lift it. Can't get out of the zone. Evander Kane now off the spin. This is a good forecheck. They need to do this. As this is sent in behind the end boards, away from the referee. This will go D to D. Here's a slapper, Cody Ceci. It bounced. Now Ceci tries to find it. This is near the right side dot. Extra pass from Holloway. Short side chance for Kane. This one's sold by Ottinger, but the Oilers doing a great job right now. Zone. This is probably the best forechecking I've seen, all more so than the series against Vancouver, and that went 7 games, and I mean this. As this goes down to the right side dot. Picked up a couple times, you have the sense of urgency because you know who you're playing. That's what you got to have. This one's sent back down, and Dallas will ice it.
By the Oilers on the defensive side, those are tougher looks for Dallas to try and get out. The Oilers, they consistently put the pressure on the Stars, despite their early breakaway for the dot-out. 7 saves by Stuart Skinner kept this game not up at 0, including the follow-up by Jamie Benn, which could have been so close to being that way. McDavid to Nugent-Hopkins, just right over the end of Jake Ottinger. That was so close.
And I should have known better, Alec, that the first opportunity would have been from Evgeny Dadonov. I don't know how many teams could hide him on a third line, but that speaks to the depth of Dallas. Here's a long outstretch pass from Bouchard. Connor McDavid, is he going to find himself more on the goal sheet? Here's a wrister from Hyman, and Ottinger sees it all the way.
He devoted it best. When is McDavid going to get back onto the goal sheet? He only has 2 goals, as his others are getting the goal scoring done where he's mostly utilizing himself as a playmaker. And you got to have that mentality when you have to set up 4 others. Zach Hyman, double-digit in goals. Evan Bouchard, 5 goals. Leon Draisaitl, second leading goal scorer on the Oilers with 8. So that's how the playmaker style emphasizing that.
Yeah, he's done a great job with that right now, and I don't disagree with any of it. I just wonder how long it's going to take, or what it will take, for Connor McDavid to get to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in his career. Again, they've been on the precipice a couple of seasons ago against Colorado, then they got swept. I kind of feel like this is that same. I don't have the names of Nathan McKinnon or Mikko Rantanen or Cale Makar, but I mean, Dallas's names behind that are much less star power. As this is sent in behind the end boards now for Tanev. We'll make an outstretched pass from 60 feet. Sam Steele will get this one down. This is pretty good from 150, but it'll be picked up now by Dallas's defense. Sent back behind the end boards. Cody Ceci trying to intercept this puck, as this is now an opportunity for Hyman. He gets punished, able to stay on his feet as Dallas tries a couple hits near the right. It's a wrister, and this one is blocked as this flipped back down, trying to battle for it. This is with the Stars right now. Smith trying to make a pass, and this will be sent back in for Carrick. Again, I think that's his first action, and I can remember calling his name since coming back from injury. We'll try to take it left to right. Good feed. This one goes down the zone, but a hybrid icing will be called. 13-12 left to go in the first. Alec, I know it's early, but I am seeing a little bit of fight here from Edmonton on the forecheck, and they're really working this puck right now, and it's impressed me.
Yeah, so far so good for the Oilers. They've been working on the Stars. Now then again, with the high-scoring offense that they provided, when is that going to take them over to the top? When are they going to get the depth, adequate depth on the bottom 6? That's outside of Adam Henry. Arguably, you can put him on the middle 6 role. That's how good he is. And because he's been on some bad Ducks teams the last few years.
Yeah, he has, and he can put some points, and that's why they tried to acquire him at the deadline. Ken Holland needs some depth for this team, as you mentioned. This is sent behind the end boards now, and we will get, I think, Evander Kane is going to go into the box. He tried to get Miro Heiskanen. That's just not what you want to do right now.
Kelly Sutherland, one of the 2 referees here tonight, I think he made the call. Try to get a replay of this, but the first power play going to Dallas. And for all the talk about you don't want to put the Oilers on the power play, you also do not want to put the Stars on the power play. Kane put Heiskanen on a headlock near the Oilers bench. That's a no-no.
For what reason? The puck wasn't even near him.
Seriously, the puck wasn't even close to Heiskanen. It was off of him by the time he dumped it off. And now this leads to Stars' first power play. We do remember that on the 2 goals in which he scored 9 seconds first playoff game we covered together, the Stars and the Wild double overtime half marathon. That's how good Dallas is on the man advantage. It's still going on to this day.
So let me say this, because this surprised me. Again, the power play numbers, and Dallas is at 29%, and Edmonton's at 37.5. You would expect them to be really good as they've been. They kind of set records last year. Here is the eye-popping number. Should the Oilers, right now they're 91.4%. That's been noted across the playoffs when we covered some of these games. They've been locking down. But Dallas is just 69% on the penalty kill. That does not seem very Stars-like.
No, it doesn't. You'd think that they'll be stifling defensively. The penalty kill has some holes that they can run around. The Oilers' penalty kill, we can talk about their turnaround all throughout this season. Paul Coffey's hiring helped on this matter, on the vast improvement by the Oilers on the PK. Especially comparing in the last 2 years where they were at the bottom of the PK. The turnaround he's done.
Yes, it has. And again, those numbers that I throw out there, just already knows this, but just for clarification for everyone else listening in, the numbers that I have in front of me are from the playoffs right now. So that's what we're looking at. Vegas at 1 in a 7-game series against Vegas, and then 6 against Colorado, and then 5 games for Edmonton against LA, 7 games against Vancouver. So we'll give you more of those stats. I also got but this is the first power play of the game, and it belongs to the Dallas Stars. Really a needless one from Evander Kane trying to attack Miro Heiskanen with a headlock. And this one is sent in. Jake Ottinger will stop it. Again, Jake Ottinger has either had great games or he's had good games. No duds here for Jake Ottinger. In between the four goaltenders that are left, at least Jake Ottinger is second at worst. As this is saying in behind the end boards, the Dallas Stars really have everything they need to lift Lord Stanley. And they think that they can do so. As this one is sent back down for Jamie Benn. And what a party it's got to be in Dallas with the Mavericks and the Stars and the Rangers. So all the boom right now for the Dallas sports and everything else is just right there for you. Sports are cyclical, and the Stars and everyone else are enjoying it. As this is now the right side, red line. Here's a good drop pass. Wyatt Johnston tried to get it to Roope. Sent back in behind the inboards for Heiskanen. A backhand feed to Benn. Shot through the traffic, and Stuart Skinner makes the save.
Yeah, you mentioned about the Dallas market in sports. So even though the Dallas Cowboys did not make it to the NFC Championship game since 1995, the sports market in the DFW Metroplex is still in good hands. You have the Rangers coming up a World Series championship. Both the Stars and the Mavs are in the Western Conference Final. Mavs going to the Stanley Cup and the NBA Final, respectively, which is still a realistic possibility for both of them.
Yes, it is. And again, you would have to think maybe Stars have the advantage over the Mavericks on that side, but the Mavericks did take game one. That was a gigantic one. Stankoven will get this pass. Heiskanen with a ripper, big rebound. This goes in behind the net. And the Stars are also very young on some of their key pieces, Alex, so they're not going anywhere anytime soon. This is an opportunity for Duchene. Drop for Stankoven. He did get the pass off under duress. Tyler Seguin goes in between some foot traffic as Duchene will try to center it between the slot. Heiskanen will go back. It's a 2-on-1. Brown, cross pass, and good defense there for Stankoven. He got a piece of Janmark, the former Star. As the power play down to 5 seconds, Stuart Skinner did make a couple saves, but the power play is going to expire. Now the Stars in the victory green, black pants, black striping, have the puck. They're at home right now at American Airlines. They'll wait and send this back to Jake Ottinger. Spun for Matt Duchene. Will be forced back deep to Essa Lindell, longtime Star. This will be sent around the end boards now to Edmonton. We'll start in their own end for Kris Knoblauch squad. Evan Bouchard turns it over off the pressure. Here's Smith. Try to set it up for Harley. Here's a pass across. It bounces off the stick of Stuart Skinner. Draisaitl will make a pass in between his legs. We'll settle this one back down the ice. And it's blown dead against Edmonton, 10-14 in the first.
Yeah, the icing is not going to help. So we stay with the same guys under the ice for the Oilers, but they're coming off a very solid penalty code. They even got a 2-0. Stars rush back on time to prevent any opportunity for Matthias Janmark to develop and scoring on his former team. The first team that he's played for would have been a homecoming for him both ways.
Yes, it would. And again, you'd have to think for even Janmark, we've seen him been on the score sheet before for Edmonton. You think he could do so again? You want to do so. Well, I'm very impressed, Alec, of Dallas Stars and their fans. They really pack this building, and they've been doing so for a couple decades now.
Yeah, hockey in the South does work when you build on your assets and get the families. Sustained success leads to large crowds, and as is the case today here, from the Modano era to the Robertson era.
Yeah, you've had all the way from all of that, as you mentioned, you Darian Hatcher, Brett Hall, some of the real great names, as this is Johnston. The splits, he kept that puck alive. He lost an edge. And now this went the other way. Draisaitl, slow up, stop, pass right across the middle. Good diving shot block. Somebody took an absolute tumble. That was Matthias Ekholm. Race the other way. Wyatt Johnston. He wanted to make a pass. His line mates took a change as this goes in behind the inboard. 30 left to go in the first. John Ender with you alongside Alec Mava. I know he's streaming on Twitch. I got the YouTube side. We're in the Twitter X space. As this is sent behind the end boards, Mason Marchment gets all tied up, and then he gets taken down. All sorts of tangle behind the net of Stuart Skinner. And now Suter. Fans are looking on toward the left side where the camera's not panning because of all the contact. And this will be iced against Dallas.
Sustained puck possession. This is what Dallas is doing a lot here against Edmonton. From the power play to either 5-on-5, the Stars, they have the majority of the puck possession and are doing a good job at putting people away on the Oilers. 4-1 the shots, that's proof of the sustained puck possession.
It is. And Alec, do you just kind of biding their time right now? It still kind of seems we're in the feel out phase.
It might be. It's the rest versus rust factor. They got a lot of rest coming off that series victory over the Avalanche. Who knows if they're looking a little rusty?
This will be an opportunity for Harley off the tie-up. As this is Duchene off the backhand. This will be bounced as it's picked up by Cece, and now Carrick will send this one across. Try to find Janmark off the spin. There's all sorts of body contact near the right boards. 8:35 left to go in the first. Janmark off the spin. We'll see who can pick this one back up. It's with Dallas. Evgeny Dadonov trying to spring Benn. Evgeny Dadonov has been a maestro on offense for Dallas so far in this pretty much playoffs, this all the way run. And for everybody on Dallas, they've all been chipping in. You have to think about Roope Hintz not being in the lineup. If that's the way it was a few years ago, this would be a death sentence. But this team and the Dallas Stars is so Roope Hintz and not skip a beat, as this is put in behind the inboards. An opportunity off the pickup, Radek Faksa, who draws in the lineup for Peter DeBoer's squad one more time. Leave it for Stuart Skinner. We'll look to start again left to right. The Edmonton Oilers in the road whites with the blue and orange striping mix. As this is Lindell in his own end. Dallas with an outstretched pass. It'll be a good contest. Desharnais gets a big paw out there. Line picked up by Dallas. Still trying to make a play, and behind the cage is Stuart Skinner off the wraparound. There's a skate a couple times. Still working with this thing. Dallas will take a D-to-D. Lindell. Slap shot gets blocked. I think Holloway might have got a piece of that one, and it stung him pretty good. As Draisaitl. On the other side, Holloway tries to break away from Heiskanen, and Ottinger has none of that.
Our sequence of events in the last second, Draisaitl getting absolutely plastered over the near side DeBoer and doing Holloway. Almost got the breakaway right on Jake Ottinger, but unfortunately he just ran out of room to shoot. That was Faksa who delivered the flow over to Draisaitl.
Yeah, I didn't think Faksa was capable of that kind of engine on the boom, but he got a pretty good one there on Draisaitl. I did want to mention this a little commercial. Let's look at the previous matchup history. So again, some of this will be with the Minnesota North Stars, but in the conference finals in 1984, Edmonton beat Dallas 4-0. In 91 conference finals, the Minnesota North Stars at the time won 4-1. Then you go from 97, 99, 2000, 2001, and 2003. Dallas met up round and took them out pretty much consecutively. It almost felt like a first-round bye, but it goes to say these two teams in playoff history, they've met a lot.
Yeah, 5 years in a row for Dallas, dating back to 1998, and that's 5 playoff series in the first years in which they've taken them out. The long exception, 97, when Bob Cole covered that game 7 in one of the biggest upsets ever in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Curtis Joseph, Todd Marchment, and the post-Gretzky era Oilers taking them out. Let me tell you, Michael Pekka was on that team. Not a player who could be of the prominence of that Oilers team, because a lot of that roster for the Gretzky era has been gutted out, and they pulled off perhaps a huge upset, and they did.
Yeah, they did, and that hasn't happened a lot. When you say Michael Pekka, I'm thinking instantly Buffalo Sabres. In fact, I'm not even thinking about the other teams.
Yeah, Buffalo Sabres in 1999. Him, Jason Woolley, Miroslav Shatan. You can think of them, but mostly it's a dominator, Hasek.
Absolutely. Again, he was able to get that all the way across, and that was Dallas's last cup run in 99. Again, as Alec mentioned, every single one of these teams, with the exception of the Florida Panthers, have all won the Stanley Cup in the 90s. The Panthers have never won. They made the finals for the second time in their history. They're trying to do it for a third time and actually win one of these things. But it's pretty cool. Disparity in between hockey and basketball in the sense of teams you don't normally see and trying to get new teams titles. And that's what you want. You want new blood. That's what we got right now. We're in good hands. Here's a race for Hyman. We'll slow up. Cross pass. This one gets blocked. Man, oh man, the whole right side of the net was open. For RNH, this will get picked off. We're right to Evan Bouchard. Edmonton, and now Connor McDavid uncharacteristically mishandles the puck like the Edmonton forecheck has at least stood toe-to-toe with Dallas. And again, I have better feelings about this game, 15 left, and I mean this, than I ever did about Florida and New York last night, as this is sitting behind the inboards. Picked up now, no icing. Mason Marchment will quickly try to press this the other way. Joe Pavelski, touch pass. Mason Marchment will send it in deep as Brett all sorts of bodies near that right side red line now. Who's going to pry it loose? Ryan Suter. I know he's getting toward the edge of his career. He's on the back skate. Good loft pass. As this goes to the left side red line now. Warren Fogel's line is out there right now for Kris Knoblauch. It's scoreless. 5:30. On there with you alongside Alec Naba. Here's a loose pass for Cody Ceci. He's got to pick the puck back up. Spun around for Fogel. They'll send it in deep now. Edmonton. They're still trying to find lanes. Dallas is doing a great job cutting them off. I wouldn't believe that the shots on goal are only 4-2. It does kind of give you that Vancouver vibes, but I think Dallas is going to have a better press than this. I'd have to think so. This one sent into Jake Ottinger. I'll pass it around. Heiskanen couldn't find it in between his skate blades. This might force a turnover. Now it's Jamie Benn flipped from Seguin. Benn slows up between his feet. Try to find a cutting Harley as this goes in behind the cage for Jake Ottinger. Seguin sends it out front with a blind backhanded pass. And this is easily read. This is taken toward the wall. Now back for Miro Heiskanen. 4:40 left to go thereabouts in the first. Seguin, touch pass, right side. Dallas. Put back around the inboards for CC. He'll make a pass for Draisaitl. He's got pirouette back. As this, the Oilers still trying to break their own end. Dylan Holloway gets the interception, but it's just him against 3 stars. Can he find this puck? As this is stuck behind the right side red line. Flipped over the outstretched hand of Draisaitl. Dallas trying to press the other way on an inadvertent 2-on-1. And now steal from the Edmonton defense. We'll get this the other way. Draisaitl, Holloway. We'll take a risk for this one. Stick this side by Otter. Put it around the inboards now. Holloway. Draisaitl trying to take a look. Harley was there. We'll chip it. This is a good pass. See if they can spring out Fox. They'll go to Smith instead. Other ways to go, though, if he wants to get to this puck, is Holloway is held against the boards. Draisaitl now. His pass. A little bit easier off the backhand, but this deflects right to Dallas. 3:35 left to go in the first. It's shipped. Wow, this is a knuckle puck. Look out over in the crowd.
I noticed it's deflected out on its own. I don't think there was a deflection coming on the clear. I don't know if Harley's going to get delayed of the game. That's maybe what Edmonton could be alleging. The puck is in the crowd, but I don't think they're going to call it at any point. But still, they could review it.
I don't think we'll get anything either, Alec. It was bouncing off a stick. This was go flying into the crowd, and then we go to a break. A couple other more stats for you that I have. So goals for, goals against. It starts with Edmonton and Dallas. So Edmonton 3.83 during the playoffs. Dallas 2.92. But here's the differential where it's pretty good for Edmonton. You got 3.83 goals for, 2.75 goals against. That's not bad against 2.38. And a couple other things for you. When Dallas scores first, they're 7-3, or 7-3 for the Oilers, 5-3 for Dallas. And when they trail first, Edmonton 1-1. Kind of tells you that Dallas is no stranger trailing in these playoffs, and they will fight through as the game moves along.
And just like last game they played, Game 6, they were down by 1 goal, but 1 goal is all they need to tie it up. Jamie Benn on the breakaway. But they're not fighting him. Marchment Matt Duchene get a jump-by-jump card. They wrote a goaltender appearance for whatever reason. That was Duchene getting his revenge on both effects on the puck don't lie spectrum and the former team spectrum.
Yeah.
Now is they're used to coming back on some facets, but they know how to play from in front and hold a lead. Thing is, we don't have to gain first goal at this point. It's taking so long already. Somebody score.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I did not expect this right now. I thought Dallas might be up by a couple goals. I'm trying to make sure that I give others credit, but I still felt like going into this series that it could be like a couple of years ago against the Colorado Avalanche. I mean, you look at Jake in the playoffs, 8-5, 209, 918 in comparison to Stuart Skinner, 7-3, 287, 881. Those are stark comparisons, but again, they don't matter if Dallas only has 4 shots on goal here, 3:32 left to go in the. People are yawning, and I understand why.
They're used to seeing picking up. So far, it feels like it's in a slump. Connor McDavid almost put that one in the bag had not been for Wyatt Johnson on a stick block.
Zach Hyman now trying to rush against Esa Lindell. This is sent down. This will be played by Skinner, no icing. Long outstretched pass off the glass. This is read by the Star. On the left side dot now. This will go all the way back down the ice and played for Otter. Dallas now will look to start again from the length of 200 feet. Tanev makes his pass. This will be chipped in. This is a war of attrition right now, and I'm seeing a lot more chip and chase than I would with the skills of actually entering the zone. Maybe we're going back to that as far as over the last couple of decades. I don't know how much I would like that. Here's McDavid with a sweet move, but he got stick dragged at the last moment. This will be sent down as he tried to knife through the defense of Bouchard, Hyman. McDavid's on side. Harley will get this out. Mason Marchment, 2-on-2 with Pavelski. Marchment, long wrister. This one is blocked. Marchment tries to pick it up. We'll get a whistle. 2:24 left. It goes in the netting.
Yeah, it was out of play. How are you doing, Owen?
Good. Edmonton.
I have to say the same thing, Owen. I was not expecting this to start the game, but if they can steal this game one, I leave some belief system in for me, Owen, that Edmonton might have a chance at this.
I was very skeptical on Tuesday night.
So far they turned my head. And the Oilers, they're getting some belief that they could strike here in this game one. They almost capitalized on the McDavid shot, but Wyatt Johnson with a stick.
And I got to give you full credit, Owen. During my time during the play-by-play before I gave it to Alec, you called it, and I did not think it was going to be that close. Did pick Edmonton to win. I didn't think it was going to take 7, though. But that battle and that series of the All-Canadian matchup, it's lulls here and there, but it was pretty good.
Yeah,
You got full marks.
Game 7 could have been a lot better, but yeah.
Period, I'll give you that. But with this Oilers team, this year's Oilers team in the playoffs, they're the first team in playoff history with 3 players in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs.
That's absolutely ridiculous. The steal is at 97, and this is an opportunity as this one gets sticked away by Ottinger. And now Dallas, they're going to press the other way quickly. Here's a feed short side, and this one bounces off Skinner's stick. This will go back down the ice. That's Lindell trying to give chase to it. He's going to use his body. He must have ran out of gas. This is going to allow Edmonton opportunity now as this is picked up. Draisaitl will get it to CC. This will go D to D. Here's a knuckle puck toward the right side of the glass. Matt Duchene trying to join on against Dylan Holloway. Dallas trying to get out of their own end right now. There's a hook in the air. There's a penalty. This Oilers.
Holding the call. I think it's going to be Holloway. It's getting sent to the box. 55. And Wyatt is hasting into a little dipsy doodle. Well, to correct you, it's not
Fogle.
97. It is 37. Fogle. I know it's a little confusing to read the jersey numbers because the block font can make things a little harder to read. That was Fogle on the breakaway getting backstopped by Ottinger.
Hey, well, that's good. It's good to see that Warren Fogle had the same type of Connor McDavid speed. Good for him.
We'll be starting the second period on the power play.
Should Dallas not score?
Again,
Not the right move.
that looked in behind the play that was an easy call, a little bit of a hook right in front of the ref. They could see that there. Dallas gets a second power play. Dylan Holloway, as Alec mentioned, is a hold. It's a second power play for Dallas, and Jamie Benn can't win the draw, which is a surprise. This one is sent back down the ice to Big Ottinger, the length. And now, Heiskanen, usually the power play quarterback of this thing, sometimes as a defenseman is. He is one of the best. And now he might have to compete against Evan Bouchard, who has been unreal in these playoffs. Vincent Desharnais slowly in behind the end boards for the Nuge. As he'll flip this one and do so safely on the penalty kill, right to Ottinger. 1:30 left to go on the power play side, about a 27-second difference between the games. As this one bounces off of Pavelski's skate and sent back down. The Oilers' penalty kill looks transformational from a couple seasons ago. I know it's Paul Coffey, but Matthias Ekholm, Evan Bouchard, they were not there from a couple of years ago, and that might be enough to make the difference. Core does not have those same sparkling numbers. As this is picked up by Duchene. Duchene will drop for Stankoven. He will leave it near the right side. Fogle try to pick it up. Stankoven now will get this pass back here from Duchene. It's a slapper. Skinner loose.
So open, finding just enough separation from everyone else. On the power play, Rick one off the feed from right behind net by Matt Duchene. This is a combo that's worked out so well this far in the season. Carrying over to the playoffs. Nice seeing I beat, not begging, Darnell, Nurse, Stuart Skinner tracked it perfectly.
What a pass that was. Could have shot that immediately. He might have had a goal, but he had to take time to aim it up and locate it as this is sent back down Ottinger. So 40 seconds left to go on the Dallas power play. They'll have a little bit less of that carryover time. They don't score in 10 seconds. One more entry for the Stars. Duchene, turn and drag. His shot. How many times as I called the first, we end this one scoreless.
Well, here we have another one of those cases. Well, I'll give you credit for we're in the Vancouver-Edmonton side in Game 7. I'll give you full marks in that one. The Canucks did make things interesting, and now we're going scoreless here. Dallas still on the power play and into the second period once we get back on action. But now we're at the first intermission. You're just joining us here. The Stars have been out shooting, hanging firm defensively.
They're staying in this game well.
7 shots on goal to 3 for Dallas, 4-9 on hits, 9-7 face-offs for the Oilers. Dallas, a couple power play opportunities, got a little bit of carryover time, but it looks like they may not start the game. But again, as you mentioned, Alec, I'm pretty impressed with the way that the Oilers' forecheck had worked in that first period. They had given the Stars fits a little bit. I still think we're in the stage, it looks like, of the feeling out process that I mentioned earlier, but this is an impressive start here for the Oilers that can do something on the road because, hey, you've beaten the LA Kings 3 years in a row. If you prove you got their number, you're able to get the 7-game series against Vancouver, who at times only had 13, 14 shots on goal per game. Now you're playing against the Dallas Stars, and then the next entry, you're going to be playing against Florida and New York. This is the time to prove what you got if you're going to lift the cup.
Yeah, it feels like the difficulty level of each playoff series for the Oilers is only going up. The Kings in the first round. We can treat the Kings as basically the odd man out in the Western Conference. We were not expecting them to go on a deep run. Second, looking to go over to the Western Conference final and look like they did so. You wonder how they do if Besser and Demko weren't injured, but with the way that they were playing, going to win that series, and they did so, rightfully so for them. Dallas is their toughest challenge yet in this Western Conference final. If the Oilers go to the Stanley Cup final, they'll face an even tougher challenge than either one of the Rangers or the Panthers. I've been trying to rank the Stanley Cup final possibilities from top to bottom. I was divided Ranger Stars on what will be 1 and 2. I initially gave Ranger Stars the edge, but maybe Panther Stars could be getting a run for its money. Rangers was not the best in terms of matchup, but the best in terms of ratings. That's going to be marketed like crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, you get that. That's what they want.
Boy and ESPN scoring boy. With ESPN casting the Stanley Cup final. Coincidence? I made that.
And I think, too, and I said this before, too, last round. If Vancouver had gone to face Dallas, I would have taken Vancouver to go to the finals. I said this is, I figured it was going to be Dallas and Edmonton. I don't know. Edmonton can still change my mind, but they gotta win a game or two before that happens.
Do you think, I threw this out there, Owen, do you think that this is a must-get game one for Edmonton?
Yeah, I mean, Dallas, yeah, they gotta.
So, yeah, we're all on board for that. That's why I've been throwing that out there. I'm surprised that we're all on board for it, but I think we have to, considering because Edmonton, yeah, you won 2 rounds, but I'm still kind of wondering what the competition level was. It's what we talked about it. But hey, you can only play who you can play. I mean, you could think about it several years ago with the Montreal Canadiens going to the Stanley Cup final, but you only play who's in front of you.
Oh, and I see Patrick's.
Yeah. So, welcome on board, everyone. So, when we speak of the Montreal Canadiens and the road they take into the Stanley Cup final, that's one of the toughest roads they've ever taken. I mean, you take out the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round. I know the Leafs, they were favored by many in Canada that they could go over to the Stanley Cup final. Well, that series lead, well, Montreal took advantage of it in Game 7. Second round, you face out against the Winnipeg Jets team that's fresh out of the closest sweep in the NHL in the Stanley Cup playoffs up until the Panthers last year. The Jets, they basically ran out of gas in the second round and got swept in turn. The Golden Knights, many are saying that they could be the team that could go to the Stanley Cup final. Well, Montreal with an artillery Lekkinen sniper.
And normal non-COVID playoff years, that Montreal Canadiens team wouldn't even have made the playoffs.
No.
So, I don't know. I think that was. That doesn't really count in my eyes.
The old COVID playoffs don't excuse narrative.
Just like the Lakers championship.
I'm getting tired of it over again.
I know you are. That's why I had to bring it up. I had to burst your bubble there for a second. I agree with you though, Alan.
Oh man, and some other hockey news. And have you guys had a chance to watch some World Championships?
But I heard that USA got knocked out by Canada.
They did. They did 1-0 this afternoon. And then there was a great game, went to overtime between Finland and Sweden. Joel Eriksson scored the winner.
It's too bad that that's all in the same time right now, because honestly, I would like to check out some of that.
Well, it's on during the afternoons. It's in Czechia. NHL Network and ESPN+.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, NHL Network. So, with that, I know it's in Czech. So I saw a picture of a fan meeting Connor Bedard over in Czechia where the World Championships were at. And good for him to meet this young man about to turn 19 this summer. So he's hoping the Blackhawks franchise gets another boost onto their rebuild. Perhaps someone onto the defense, someone from overseas. They could look at one of the European prospects, or maybe a certain player from Michigan, Marchment.
Well, and Macklin Celebrini almost played over there too. He was 2 days away from the champion, 2 days away from playing for TC. How he did up against NHL caliber talent. Then he got cut in after the rosters had already been published. Got cut.
I think that might be just a business decision to make sure that he's all good for the San Jose Sharks in a little bit.
Could be. I think that may be the most likely move if he is ready for the Sharks, because he's projected as the number 1. I feel for the Sharks, if you're Mike Greer
Absolutely. When you got your dad involved with the Golden State Warriors and all that too, and you've been playing there since you're a little kid pretty much. You know the organization, you know the system. That's the easiest number one pick you can make.
Yeah, easiest number one that you can make in your career. Just as easy as it is to, if you were Kyle Davidson, Connor Bedard last year. It's plain simple. Easy as ABC. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to overcomplicate it, and you have the prospects that are there, and he's projected to be number one. So I don't think that's going to change. You mentioned it earlier for Levshunov for Chicago Blackhawks. If he goes there, I'd be pretty happy for him because honestly, he got a chance to cover them a little bit in the tournament alongside the Michigan Wolverines, but Spartans did quite well. And Levshunov, he is a top 5 defensive prospect. And to me, honestly, he looked like a top 3 college prospect. He is that good defensively.
What's the possibility of pairing him with Kevin Korshinsky?
Hey, Kevin Korshinsky is already pretty good, so I think that would make a lot of sense.
Number 2 pairing behind Alex Blask and Seth Jones.
Seems like Chicago is trying to build a nice young team to be competitive. Maybe not.
I think, Owen, because I agree with you, can back me up on this a little bit for Chicago. They took the Tank Bowl very seriously. They got lucky in the draft lottery a little bit to go get. But they're trying to prove to you alongside with Kyle Davidson, hey, we're going to make this roster as bad as possible. Lose as many, get a little bit fortunate, and then just build up as quickly as they can. It seems to be working.
It is. The $4 million contracts given out to Nick Foligno and Corey Perry, it was for purposes of getting to the cap floor.
Yeah.
And we're trying to build a top roster in the NHL, and I feel that was the objective of the first season with Bedard, that you want competitive in games, but the main goal is to get a top pick. They succeeded in getting pick number 2.
That's crazy. One followed by 2 because I don't think you can have the first pick 2 years in a row.
Is that a rule that they threw out there? I wasn't aware of it.
I don't think you can lottery the first pick 2 years in a row.
Okay.
You probably acquire otherwise, but I don't. It's either the NHL or the NBA. I can't remember which one. Where
I can't remember either.
You can't be lottery the pick 2 years in a row.
Well, I can definitely tell you can't in the NBA spell the 5 again, but I digress. I do want to throw a Celtics Pacers score the way at the halftime because we're pretty. So it looks like the C's do have a lead. This one a little bit balloon larger, but again only 6. Again, Pascal Siakam's got 16 for the Pacers with 4 rebounds. On the other side, Jaylen Brown is going crazy. 24 points on 8 of 16 shooting. Celtics are up 57-51.
This roster is constructed. It feels like there's one guy who's going to be playing at his. Tonight is Jaylen Brown's turn after Jason Tatum had all that energy in game 1 with 10 points in overtime and a win. Now it's Brown's turn. 24 points on 8 of 16 shooting. It feels like they're all taking turns. The Celtics getting a boost with a 20-0 run and a lead as large as 16, but never count out the Pacers. They say that sometimes the best defense is a white-hot offense. That's been a special case with the Pacers.
Yeah. Crazy
on Tuesday night. I turned the game on. Unfortunately, I fell asleep and I woke up 4 hours later and saw that it had gone to overtime.
Yeah, I ended up covering that game solo. It's been the first time I covered a game since the in-season tournament with Alec, and it was the same 2 teams. And again, Alec and I talked about it a little bit. Carlisle. I don't know how you don't foul on the 3-point shot. Charles Barkley always says the same. LeBron says the same. You got to. Brown hits the chance. They end up losing. And now Pacers, I don't think you want to go down 2-0 and then going back to the field house. I think the Pacers can score a ton of points. It's probably going to be another game that's going to be in the 120s. And we'll just see how long Indiana can stay close and maybe try to steal one because I think they have to.
Don't be surprised if this ends up being the highest scoring series of the playoffs.
Did you see the Cavs made the curious decision to fire their head coach today?
What did you staff do wrong?
I feel rotations were more off for
Okay.
Cavaliers under Bickerstaff. I feel it's his first head coaching game. He's going to learn from this heading into his next head coaching game. Say if you want to get some better lines at your next destination, wherever you head around. But I feel he did a good job of turning around the Cavaliers and making them into a playoff contender.
He did. That's why I was confused. I'm eating some popcorn. That's why I was confused. Because I don't know what more we expected of the Cavs this season. But, yeah, they lost in 5 to Boston. Who expected anything else?
Yeah, like we were saying, what their ceiling probably was Eastern Conference Finals if they were healthy.
No, say if Mitchell was healthy, this could possibly go to 6 games against Boston.
And that's really, as you said, Owen, that's kind of the way it was. So I'm a little bit surprised, but we'll see. Funny if they do start recycling Darvin Ham and all that stuff again. Who knows what they're going to do? I don't think that's the situation, but I'd rather just keep JB Bickerstaff, to be honest.
That was a very curious decision.
Who's even on the market, really?
JJ Redick.
JJ Redick, is he already penciled in to go to the Lakers as LeBron's buddy?
It's not there yet, but when they're saying that LeBron is not actively involved in the head coaching search, well, I have my questions about that.
We all do. I agree. Yes.
This is the NBA we're talking about. Each team's star player is always involved in the head coaching.
Yeah,
At least the first one.
Player-heavy league with the NBPA and the association having a heavy influence on the head coaching search. Driven league, the NBA. And it feels like head coaches, they're most times all around, especially as of late, way too much blame for the team's shortcomings. I feel this is especially the case in Bickerstaff.
Yeah, we were talking about this on the happy hour this morning. And there was one or two guys who were very unhappy about how the way the NBA is playing around the league.
At least it's not like the NHL. But speaking of which, Gabe Landeskog says, I'm not leaving.
Good. We need to see him come back and start playing hockey again. Colorado's a much better team with him.
The show goes on! Movie references are always a good thing when you want to bring out Landeskog. We don't know if he's going to be back in full form, but maybe with Landeskog, you do get him back. Start him over somewhere in the middle six because of the already existing chemistry over the first line. That's already solidified first line.
We'll have to see about Valerian and Duchene.
Yeah, in his situation, he's already in stage 3 of the Players Assistance Program. Once he completes the 6-month suspension, he'll be back. If he violates the terms of it, that'll put him in stage 4, which means he'll be suspended for a full year when you're on stage 4.
Because he was really starting to go off at the end of that series.
Yeah, he's absolutely dominant when he was on, right? As you guys said, and then he's that in front of the net presence that the Avalanche really. I agree with you, Al. Like if I'm Gabe Landeskog and I come in, obviously I got to ease in. I'm like going to try to stay away from some of that contact because I haven't been on the ice in 2 years.
Yeah, you want to take it one step at a time. You start off somewhere at say the third or second line. You're not prepared to go all the way up to the first one. Already since Game 6, it feels like 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, when he last played a game. When he last wasted the Stanley Cup for his Avalanche, Eric Johnson. That's the last we've seen of him on the ice in an NHL game. He's been in practice watching onwards. He may be. Someone said that he hasn't in this postseason, but I doubt that. But that's not happening anymore with Colorado already eliminated. But with him coming back next season, you think that he'll start out at either the third or the second line. So remember, take it easy. Don't rush it too much, otherwise it's going to bite you.
I don't want to throw this question about it, So Pavel Francois said he was going back home to nurse some injuries and all that. Is there any thought that he might come back and play for the Avalanche? Or is he just done?
That's a tough one. The number of injuries that he suffered, I just don't know if he has. But I wish he could still play around, and maybe he could consider returning to the Avalanche at some point if they were to call him, considering if they were to have a need for a backup goaltender. If Colorado doesn't get a backup goaltender this offseason, perhaps they could call him.
Because you think about Landeskog and France a couple of years ago to help them lift the cup. The only thing now, when Landeskog does come back, how are they going to manufacture all that LTIR? Because Landeskog makes a little bit of money. They're pretty much losing their entire bottom six.
This will surely not be getting negative reaction
in the second period.
Yeah, I had to reference that because of the Vegas golden ice and all of that. And in the wake of the fans' unnecessary outrage against the legal move. So here we are, second period. Dallas still has 15 seconds left of power play time to maneuver. So we're 18 seconds deep. Sent aside Alex Nava, John Otto, Parkin. And this was cleared out by the Oilers. Their hot penalty killing streak continues on. Yet another penalty kill as when the Oilers lost the spill. Sent around by Skinner over to Dylan Holloway, leads it over to R&H. On the right side, here is Hyman. Go send this over to Monitor.
So 7 shots to 4. That's all we got right now. And again, as you mentioned, Alec, this penalty kill has been otherworldly. That's the only way we can say it. And otherworldly in Edmonton Oilers in the same sense. We're living in crazy times.
I mean, otherworldly is supposed to describe McDavid and Draisaitl throughout their entire careers. You want to know how many penalties they killed up now? 6 of his own. Hyman helps him out. This one stuck towards Monitor and kept it out. Out inside by Hyman let this one go over to McDavid. McDavid far corner behind that, sets up a question. He's Thomas takes a spill. Cannon lost it. Loose puck. Collected by Kolak. Block shot. Rebound score. Draisaitl. Monitoring. Kolak shot. 1-0 Edmonton.
Well, show me something indeed for the German. The Moss Pit, the Ice District in Edmonton, Alberta is excited. That was a lot of block shots. It looked like Dallas at some point after that. Leon Draisaitl set up by Connor McDavid making a play, falling down. Dallas couldn't corral the puck, and Draisaitl bang into the empty net.
It was a broken play as well, right off of Essa Lindell, and just right onto Draisaitl. Johnny on the spot collecting the loose between the glove hand and the left pad of Otter to open the scoring. The floodgates are open. That took 58 seconds in the second period for the Oilers to take wide. So it's a 1-0 lead here in Game 1, Western Conference Final. Dallas looking to answer back. Here's Suter and Joe Pavelski are each bringing up 100 career NHL games without winning a Stanley Cup regular season and playoffs combined. Janmark back the other way. Over the near boards around Petrovic. That pass broken up. And this is Dallas getting this one up. Seguin decides to send this one in as Skinner plays between Seguin and Hintz. Right behind is Nurse. Chaser behind. Pass this one up over to the left side for Carter Brown. Around this goes Sam Carrick is the first one there, but beating him out is Hastings. Craig Smith. Out inside, Echo's blast. Took a bounce off a star and out onto the Oilers bench.
As this game goes on, do you start to think that maybe this is not a facade? And what I mean by that was Edmonton was able to hold Vancouver at about 14 shots or less in 3 games. Right now, Dallas only has 7. Edmonton's only got 4. Yes, it was a broken play, but maybe they're going to be able to hold effort if they can keep things going. This is pretty impressive.
It has been 25 playoff points for the Oilers, but this is very impressive that the Oilers have been giving the Stars fits here in this Western Conference Final. Kolak on the initial shot, that's the only assist. And that was the broken play that led to Skinner plays this dangerously over to Wyatt. Johnson returns to the crease just in time. Here's Robertson on the hole. Johnson got twisted and tore by X. tied up at the far corner. Marchment is Draisaitl emerging with this. Another poke. Draisaitl keeps and clears it out. Around his goes. Too far for Kane. Holloway with it. Shoved towards the Oilers bench. Wyatt Johnson around Ekholm. Enter the zone. Johnson waits. Benn on the pass. It still reaches his man. And around this one goes over to the far corner. One-timer. Skinner shut it down his glove. And his left pad. That was Jason Robertson on the shot. Wobber face-off.
That was an absolute bullet there from Robo. He got wide open on top of the circle there, and Skinner made a pretty good save. He saw it all the way. He didn't look flustered. Good work.
So far, so good for Stu, as they want to chant along with the rest of Edmonton, Alberta, and the Marchment and inside Rogers was he may be hosting those watch parties, and they continue to do so. That energy has been as loud as in Game 5 against Calgary just 2 years ago. A quick shot. We are 2 minutes and 39 seconds removed.
So I think you can already see right now what Peter DeBoer is trying to do. They're going to see that the first goal was scored on them from Leon Draisaitl. A little bit of a broken play, but they worked hard for it. Try to get traffic in front of Skinner here and get some shots quickly.
Knoblauch wants to do right opposite Jake Oettinger, and he did get the traffic in front. It says Alex Petrovic could be out his man. First time he's in a playoff game ever since the 2016 first-round series when he was on the Florida Panthers up against the New York Islanders. Bouncing puck recollected by Dallas at Duchene. Over the near side towards the penalty box towards Pavelski, too far for him. Ryan McLeod takes it back up. Mason Marchment with him. McLeod turn it over. And here's Dallas moving inside. Over the far side, Duchene sets this one around. Nothing there as Warren Fogle recollects over the near corner. Pavelski fought about taking this away. Duchene in on him. Nurse. Bouncing puck to center. Edmonton's moving up for the near side. Sent by safety. Oettinger places one behind. Over the far corner. Here come the Stars. Deep pass on a long. And that was read all the way. Zach Hyman or Evan Bouchard taking his time with this. Over to the far side. Nugent-Hopkins. The shot was stopped by Oettinger. And this rebound swept out by Dallas. This is going to be an icing on race for this loose puck. They're going to play this icing off. Dallas is in the zone. Near corner. Now on the opposite side. Seguin with this puck away from McDavid. Seguin tied up. Had it poked away. The backhand kept this one inside. Seguin with it once again. Behind the net. Here's Jamie Benn. Beat up front. Seguin shot. That was stopped. And here come the Oilers. On-man rush in the 2-on-1. David with Hyman. The pass across. Broke it up. Hyman gets it back. Hyman in front. It's stuck in. Yes. Hyman, what a goal. A hard-working one. And Edmonton's up 2-0.
Oh,
This is insane.
my goodness. You take it away, Owen.
This is insane. 2 goals in what, 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Hyman. That was the last name you would have heard me utter when someone you asked who's going to score another goal. But he's a good offensive defenseman, I guess. It shouldn't be that surprising, but
He was able to get another play that was kind of broken in between the stick of Tanev, fight his way through Christopher and finish it off. The chance before that, Benn had it set up behind the net. It actually hit Skinner right in the head. And then Edmonton goes on the odd-man rush and scores. They got 2 goals on 6 shots.
This is insane. It is, as you pointed out, Owen. 2 goals in the first 5 minutes of this game. It's not for the team that we were expecting, Dallas. It says the Oilers that's up 2-0, and they continue to get the Stars fits. 2 goals in 3 minutes and 19 seconds. That's a hard-working goal for Hyman. On the 2-on-1 on a broken play, the pass was broken up by Kris Tanev, but it still landed onto Hyman. Tanev did all he could to block that pass up, but Hyman beat out Oettinger to this. Sent inside. This one deflected in. Biro Hayesfield picks one up. The clock stops 5 minutes in, and we see Hyman 12th goal of the playoffs.
Well, I guess when you have Shaquille O'Neal with the jersey there for Shaq Hyman, but holy cow, Alec, I just get another look at it there. Jake Oettinger, that 5-hole opened up at the perfect time, like a revolving door, and Ottinger's got to feel sick for that one.
I feel that as well. So you mentioned about Shaq Hyman. Well, then here comes the question. Who's Kobe Bryant in this scenario?
I don't know, Alec. That's a good question because you got RNH Connor McDavid and Draisaitl.
And you can argue Evan Bouchard as well.
Yeah.
There's that many options to choose from.
There's a lot right now, and they got a 2-goal lead. Crazy.
Yeah, the 2-goal lead as well. Right what Edmonton wants. They want to live up to that LA Lakers. When you speak of Shaq Hyman, you have to have Kobe Bryant in that scenario. Kris out in front. That shot was Justin. Skinner shut it down. So far, so good for him. That's his 11th save and as many shots. 5 stars.
Let me ask you this, Alec. I'm Peter DeBoer right now. My team's down 2-0. I feel like they're getting shut down defensively. I see the moment. I'm down 2. Am I just firing as many shots as I can right now to try to balloon this shot board because they got to get one past Skinner here?
You have to get one past him. And eventually you're going to have to fire one. And when it's fire at will, where you are, but it looks like we're getting a penalty here. Is it Mason Marchment caught in the middle of it? But you want to take the smart shots. Get into the dirty areas of the ice. Do the smart shots. The Oilers, they made the smart shots, and that's why they're out in front. Skinner, watching over from his crease. I don't think we're getting a penalty.
I think the just down inadvertently, but Mason Marchment was trying to get away with the sneaky hit.
Yeah, it felt that we on this play, but we play onwards here with 5:27 gone. The Oilers take another base shot, but we'll have to do this one over again because it's a false start. Clock operator reset at 14:33.
So again, I'm Stuart Skinner. I'm thinking about a couple games ago when I'm pulled for Calvin Pickard. He's played pretty well. I come back in, and now I have a chance to take this net back. I get a 2-goal lead, and now I got to make sure I hold on to it the best of my ability. You don't want to have Edmonton have the same thing happen to them it did against the Vancouver Canucks where you get those comebacks. Lock it down and continue to run your offense. This puck is not iced. You take it away. Oh, wow.
Harley up and over from a Vander Kane. That was a big-time collision over at the Dallas at the ice. Kane sends his end over to the far corner. Fans are going to be bullying him more and more. It's Kane on the takeaway. All the way back. This will go back to Edmonton ice. Skinner out of his giveaway. Here's Dallas in front. A score! Tyler Seguin.
Oh, no.
The deficit cut in half.
Oh, no. I just said you can't give up those kind of breakaways. You can't blame Stuart Skinner for that one. That was a freebie.
Oh, that's absolutely brutal. Dallas like on a basically what is a freebie. Skinner gave this one away to Brett Kulak, and he just mishandled this pass. He had the right idea in mind to fight Matthias, but that was just a weak pass. You mishandled the puck, and that basically was a freebie for Seguin on the cross pass with Benn behind Skinner.
Benn gets the steal from Kulak, as you mentioned, set up Seguin, and Dallas gets life right now when they had none in this game. What are they going to do with it now?
There's one. You still need the second one to get even. Here's Bouchard. Long drive went over Auditor's glove. Dallas right behind that, trying to stay with it, but Hyman takes away from Tatum. Hyman up and around up to the near corner. Nobody was there. The Dodgers just went over to center ice, recollected at the Stars logo. Poked away at the Dallas end. Edmonton gets this one back with Jamie Benn intercepted. And they were behind Skinner when this happened. On the outside, steals backhander way up high. And here comes, does it feel like another penalty? Yes, it is. Bouchard is going to go to the box. 2 minutes for slashing.
I feel like we're going to have a tie game in the next 2
Like that the Oilers penalty kill is going up. 16 straight penalties. They're gunning for 17 now.
16 straight. Have they successfully killed every penalty in the playoffs?
They're over 97% now. It's over 97%.
Wow. It's insane. I mean, what I was expecting them to eventually. I'm surprised it took this long, to be honest.
Not like that, though. You can't have that happen again. I mean, that's Kulak. I understand maybe the pass from Skinner a little soft. It happens. But hey, I mean, we saw that yesterday in the sense of Igor Shesterkin, and then, full speed Alexei Lafreniere. Oops.
Oh, that's a very brutal home you intercept the pass from in between and try to block it up, you mistakenly put it at your because you're in the middle of a crossfire. You're caught in the middle of it. And I feel a lot for you. He had the right idea, just the wrong execution.
Yeah, it does on between Benn and Seguin. Kulak trying to make a play. Benn gets it, sets it over easily to Seguin. And now we got to talk about this. If they do tie it up, Oilers now, this is their third penalty of this game. Dallas does not have one yet. You cannot keep throwing out hand grenades because eventually it's going to blow up in your face.
No, you have to stop throwing out said hand grenades because you want to not light them up mistakenly, and it seems like for a fact that they may be exploding almost instantaneously when you have those hand grenades, possibly from faulty wiring. Stay disciplined. It's been an issue for the Oilers and many times that they've been in the playoffs under Jay Woodcroft and Kris Knoblauch. Last year, that was the raising concern. This year, I feel the concern is still there. You're just giving up too many to your opponents. But with how good the penalty killer has been, maybe this might not be an issue. Who knows?
You see what happens here is this will get cleared down the ice, but Bouchard is a plus 10 with 20 points. He's the best defender, and he's the one in the box. Take it away.
He's your best offensive defensive forward. The best two-way defenseman on the Oilers. This whacked up. Nugent-Hopkins gets his one all the way out. What basketball work of this penalty killer's been in the first 25 seconds now. He's going to lead the way as the power play quarterback. Over the far side is Wyatt Johnson saying this one in. The entry cut off with Pavelski on the deep left point. Back with Pavelski. Cross ice for Robertson. That's top of the right circle now. Now going over to the bottom. Robertson turned around like Fogle. All the way back for Haskinen. And another cross ice pass. Pavelski back for Haskinen. Robertson set up at the right circle. Back for Haskinen. The pass blocked out by McLeod. Rushing turns is Fogle. Fogle getting a pass to himself. Fogle sends the drop pass over to McLeod. McLeod shot. Audie shuts it down. No shorty here for the Oilers with 55.
I'm looking at that, Alec, and I'm saying I know exactly what the Edmonton Oilers want to do. Box up the middle of the circles and force those passes and keep them on the outside as we talk about. But that works, and then you're able to kill an extra 25 seconds there with Fogle and McLeod. Short-handed chances, Dallas got to push us the other way.
So far, they want to push it because that's the way that they want to go things up and about. So far, it's been all Dallas here so far. On the other way, well, all Dallas on this power play up until a certain point. I meant to say here, Seguin was wide open. Bounced out with Skinner. Out inside, but not for long, though. It is the Oilers up with this now. Back for Dallas. Off the other way, rushing into this. It's Seguin. Now he was bodied up. Duchene. Top of the right circle. Now down low. Looking to center up in front. Back it goes. Skinner. Near corner is Duchene. Right behind the net. Back for Duchene, the near corner. Centering passes to work. Here's Harley now. Back for Duchene again. They're playing catch it now. Skinner fought it up. At the outside, Seguin. Harley struck to keep this in. It's all the way out. Now the lead pass hurry across the red line. Back in front here, Seguin gets cut away by Desharnais. Make that 17 straight penalties killed for the Oilers thus far in the playoffs. Masterful work on the PK. Sent inside. This took face and bounces. Here is Donop. Over to center. The center to slot. Tied up by Desharnais. Over to the far wall. Right behind the net. A low shove there. But still, this is Greg Smith set up for the Donop. The Donop holding on to this puck. The Donop trying to find the open man. It goes out in front. Bounces out to center ice. This is Liddell saying this in. First over to the near corner. That's Ekholm shoved away by the Donop. Some more work that this is bounced out to center again. Got it. Spun around by the Oilers. Several whacks at this puck. Furthermore, Auditor leads behind over to Lindell, who's chased by Nugent-Hopkins. Got it with it again. Across for Lindell. Elbows it up. Bouncing puck in center ice is Sam Steele. Steele sends this one around. This turned out to be picked by Robertson. Now it is a centering pass over to the bottom of the left circle by Seguin. Seguin looks to center it up. There's nobody in the lane. And out this goes for Edmonton back inside. Hyman, he's in. Near corner, opposite Haskinen. Haskinen beats him out. Stick with him. And out of center ice, this is Dallas inside in the attacking zone. Kris crossing the way around is Robertson. Around goal. Stars are back with this. The centering pass over to Seguin. Seguin sends in Skinner out of his net. Yet he goes back to his crease just in time. Kulak. Up front this goes. Little bump and run by Johnston. Dadona sandwich towards the boards. Oh my. McDavid drop pass. Intercepted. Here comes Dallas. The Donna is just on time as the Donna takes a skill. Johnston there. Nurse is there. The puck prime. In the second period, it's a 2-1 Oiler lead. Here's Benn. He's back with this puck. Benn breaks himself for contact from Hyman, and McDavid backhands this one over. Andre leads from behind over to Petrovic. Alex Petrovic. Looking for passing options. Kane is watching him. 9 minutes to go. Shots are 13-8 Dallas. Edmonton leading 2-1. Pavelski up with this. At the far side here is Seguin, who's entering. On CC. Is bouncing puck out in front. Pavelski took a spill. Back the other way, here's Kane. Evander Kane sends this one through. And when Holloway is the first behind the net. Holloway fighting Draisaitl in the far corner. Goes CC holding up away from the approaching star. Now in front, this pass just missed Evander Kane. Andre will cover it up. 8:32 left in the second. We'll take a break.
I know we got to talk about some of the action there, and there was some good chances going back and forth. But Cody CC, as he went to the break, Alec, I thought he made a great play, because if he doesn't keep that puck in the zone right there, Dallas essentially has a 2-0 against Stuart Skinner with a chance to tie this thing. So Cody CC, good defensive play there. Good job.
Good work by him to cut that pass away. So good work nonetheless.
So 13-9 is now the shot board in favor of Dallas, 15 apiece. Faced off 16-13 for Edmonton. And as Alec mentioned, all 3 power plays for Dallas, but they do not score on any of them. Edmonton's penalty kill at 97%.
It's remarkable. 3 power plays.
And remarkable that they have killed out 17 straight penalties. It feels like it could be worse of this game. If you look at the Celtics Pacers, the win is 89-76 in this third quarter. Win probability lies at 93.9% in favor of Boston at this current moment.
Shocking.
If that series goes, go ahead, Ian. Or go ahead, Owen.
And this is why I just can't get into the NBA playoffs, because half the game are 10-plus point blowouts. You don't get that kind of job. But yeah, no, I mean, it should be 2-0 still right now. That stupid giveaway. That's the problem I have with Edmonton. They just are not as tactical and not as all around. Not as much of a team all around as Dallas is, but we'll see if they're able to rebound from that mistake and put themselves 2 up again.
Yeah, they're hanging in right now, Owen, and honestly, I'll just be honest. In between the game they covered yesterday, I got more intrigue watching this than I did in between New York and Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that the Rangers-Panthers series, it wasn't just suffocation, as you mentioned yesterday. It was tactical suffocation. I like to put it at sometimes. But this game, so we saw Jason Tatum get 36 points in game 1. It's now Dylan Brown's turn to get a 30 bomb. He has 33 for nearly 3 quarters.
Wow, that is a lot of points there for Boston. They're trying to take a 2-0 series lead in this one.
And the score for Indy is Pascal Siakam with 26. He has 5 rebounds, 12 of 16 shooting-wise. It's an efficient night. In the zone. Bouchard intercepted by Pavelski. Pavelski around. This one gloved out by Bouchard on the key. Bouchard is in. And one time across. That close shot. And it goes over to the boards all the way back over to the Oilers zone. It actually took a bounce off the crossbar. Out in front here is Draisaitl with Duchene on his trail. Crossover to Holloway. Here's Kay on the entry back across. Draisaitl. That pass missed him. Draisaitl trying to get this one back. Stick went over the near corner. Now allows Dallas to take this one away. At the far side, up they come with some numbers. Here's Craig Smith, the ex-Predator. Lost the puck, and Draisaitl gets it out. And he's going to Rico out it over for the Stars. Beat up front over to Cole, who bounces it forwards. Andre plays one over to Thomas Harley, the number 2 defense on his team. Craig Smith back the other way. Dallas, Sam Steele also there. He shoves Cody CC to the near corner. Edmonton's up with this now. Here's McDavid. McDavid charging up on Seguin. He shoves to the wall. McDavid tied up. It's over to the right point. Bouncing puck out inside behind the net. And McDavid tried to whack it past Oettinger. He's turned away several times. Nugent-Hopkins up a deep. One time for Hyman. That was blocked off of Harley. Seguin hopes to clear it out. He gets some help. Not on the way out, though. Good hold by the Oilers. That's just 9. That was his 13. But it's a 2-1 lead for the Oilers here in game 1. Deep pass up the side. The bouncing puck. This one center up down, so the deflection cancels out the icing. Seguin back with this. Deep pass over to the near side. Stanley looks to send this forward and does. Kulak recollects for the Oilers. Looks to get it out, but good hold by Ryan. Way out might have been over several sticks. It's a rush back. It's going to be an icing as signaled by the linesman.
Couple of those chances, Alec, and I'm starting to see this open up a little bit more as this game goes along. There's a lot of one-timers in the slot available for the Edmonton Oilers. If you're Dallas, you got to close some of those. You also got to find a way to press the other way consistently, other than a gap, essentially, from Kulak. Right now, Edmonton's owning this game.
So far, defensively, you think is they owning this game. This usually means offensive-wise, but you have to account for the defensive factors in this game. So far, it's been 2 teams. Here they come again. In the far corner, McLeod is the first there on the dump in. Tight shot. This reaches Oettinger. The loose puck is still free. At the far side now. ARNA. A loose one. Loose on the run. McLeod's backhand stopped by Oettinger. Here's Vogel keeping this one alive over the far corner. Twists and turn. Takes a spill on Wyatt. Dallas reclaims possession. They get this one out. The bouncing puck over to the Oilers side. And Kulak sends this one up. The X cutting down. Or Vogel chasing after this. Ryan Suter is there with him. Vogel pinned towards the wall. Robertson also there. He gains him out. And Petrovic gets it over to Johnson. Bouncing puck way up into the air. Still in the plane. Thought it was going to go out towards the penalty box. And back across. The bouncing puck. Hyman just got across. Now this might be a crossing. Which they 5-on-5. The feet up front. Skinner shoved that one down on the shot from the dial. Now off behind the nets. And this one poked around several times as the Oilers on this takeaway. Hyman on through center ice. To the right of that one with several stars on his face. The stars are back with his backhand pass. Nothing there. Sending pass up forward over to the blue line. Hyman's out taken away. Foot race for the puck. Skinner sees Donald rushing into it. That cancels out the icing. Donald and Nurse tangled up for a moment. Nurse has it. On the far side. Intercepted pass by 8. Back this goes here is Benn. That's out the right circle. And Skinner shut that down. Here come the Oilers back to the other direction with Draisaitl leading the rush. Draisaitl protects on his forehand. Now on the backhand, sends one over to Kane, who is shoved towards the wall by Seguin. Behind the crease. It is Dallas with this again. Up for the side of the boards. Skating this one up is Pavelski. Now here it is. I believe it's Duchene. Duchene takes a spill as Holloway was on him. Bouncing puck comes over to center ice over to Kane. Evander Kane back across. Here's Draisaitl leading the way. Draisaitl waits. Pass for Echo, pickpocketed. And this goes across over to Bouchard. Evan Bouchard leads the way for the far side of the wall. Thomas Harley, the recipient of this, as the pass went too far. Feet backwards. Lead pass on the stretch. And take the bouncing puck over to Echo. Oh, taking over 4 minutes to go here in the second. Oilers lead 2-1. Their most recent goal, Tyler Seguin. For the Dallas Stars, it's 4 for the playoffs. Zach Hyman and Leon Draisaitl in that reverse order for the Oilers. Drop pass to Duchene, reaches Mark. Duchene over to Pavelski, and one-time was whipped. This goes back for Duchene, who is shoved over to the near half court. Bouncing puck goes up for McDavid, who was trying to split the defense. And that gets exposed by Lindell. Suter back behind the net. Hyman beat him out over to it, but it goes over to the far court. Nugent-Hopkins, so I'll go all the way to Edmonton zone. Back behind this is Kulak over his own zone now. Kulak, near side. They take the bounce off the boards. Right there was Lindell. Suter beat him out. Hyman almost there as well, but it takes him over to Seguin, who protects from Hyman. Seguin at the center ice, intercepted by Desharnais, and McDavid goes back with him. But the first there was Suter. Across for Lindell over the near corner. Hyman jumping onto it. The puck going over to Edmonton ice. The icing waved off as Johnson tangled up Desharnais. This reaches Skinner, who will freeze this with 2:54 to his left. He'll have a stoppage.
This is like a game of chess right now between these two. It's a good old defensive battle that we had over the last 7-8 minutes. Not a lot of space on the ice, and we'll see which teams could take advantage of it. Seems like this 2 minutes and 54 seconds left in the second could loom large for both teams because it could be a 2-goal lead or a tie game. We'll see if anyone can get one.
Hey, who's going to put the king in check now, John?
Yeah, that's the critical question, and that's honestly why I threw. This feels like Edmonton is playing a game where they could really take this right now.
This is basically an Edmonton Oilers-style game, as you noted out. They've been playing their brand of hockey. Well, we noted about their high-scoring games previous week. Well, now they know how to win close games, and such as the case on a close game. It's a low-scoring battle. Quick shot off the face on that block. Another chance. That one also blocked as well. Ferocious defense by the Oilers. Here's Hyman on control. Jack Hyman on the lead. Over to McLeod. McLeod drops back. Here's Nurse. A close one. Easy save by Andre on the one-timer. At top of the left circle. Nobody was screening him. 2:39 left.
I'm glad you said it that way. I still liked it, though, for Edmonton right off the rush because, again, I mentioned this as we're going to go into break here. They've had the better chances in this game, whether it's off the rush, in the slot. Sometimes it feels like Dallas might be conceding up a couple of those. They're trying to elect to block shots, and sometimes they'll pay the price. That's his first goal. So, yeah, I'm really interested. It's going to make me feel pretty different if we get into this post game if Edmonton does take this game because I'll have to issue Edmonton fans an apology here. I did not think that this was going to be much of a series, but right now, from what I'm seeing in this game, and granted, I know but this is unfamiliar territory that I've seen this team in over the last few years, correct? Because they got swept by Colorado a few years ago, but Edmonton and defense never went in the same sentence together like peanut butter and jelly does. It's like oil and water, but yet here it is.
Yeah, I mean, they're still far from perfect, but and just some quick breaking news here. The NCAA and the Big Five conferences have agreed to a $2.8 billion settlement that could see athletes getting paid as soon as fall 2025.
That is going to happen, and then the collegiate football game that comes out in a couple months, the players are going to make money off of that. Good
for them. Well, especially when you hear about NIL deals and all about. Yep, so soon to come back in this, we see Tyler Seguin being profiled by the TNT crew. And speaking of TNT, well, it's going to be a sad story next season in the Inside the NBA crew. But Charles Barkley has plans to hire the resident Inside the NBA crew to his production company, Inside the NBA.
Smart man. Get all those guys together. Do a podcast. Do a breakdown. We need something once a week.
Yeah, they'll be snapped up by whatever network has it in the future. You think they're gonna just say no?
No, they can't. They're too good.
It's a big mistake by Warner Brothers Discovery to not match the offer made towards NBC on the TV rights deal. So a lot of shakeups coming by the 2026 season because next year is the last year of the current TV deal with TNT or the NBA. But the NBA returning to NBC, that is good enough. We'll see more of the Roush on Rock. Several chances. Second out front. Skill was some good saves. He made 3 of those in quick succession. Now being shot. Held his zone again. And loose out of front. Skinner one more time. 5 saves in several seconds. How about this? He was benched for Calvin Pickard, and good thing he needed a mental reset because he's been playing at peak form. Maybe he can be tested again here. Chris Canada to the right. Grant Smith shoved away by Echo. Sent out front. Fun shot turned away. Another time by Skinner. What a sequence it's been for him. 6 saves in less than 30 seconds, it seems. Wow.
He is getting a workout right now. Dallas trying to make a push in the last 90 seconds.
Now at the far side, the sentence side. Dallas looking for some momentum. Trying to tie this game up at 2. And looking for the first game. Under there was someone who got dead and lost a helmet. He has to go to the bench now. And we have a stoppage here because of what I believe is exactly that. That was Fox's helmet.
Too many men on the ice, Alec.
Too many men on the ice. Fox does that and lost his helmet up. The Oilers saw that there were too many men. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the ice. Oh my God.
Well, Edmonton going to get a chance to go on the power play where they're absolutely lethal. Dallas has had 3 on all of them. This is a pivotal moment at the end of the second period. Marchment's going to serve it.
Yeah, how much time ago?
1:17.
You did mention Edmonton's power play up against Dallas's penalty kill. That's a match that's going to play huge dividends towards Edmonton, considering that Dallas's PK is on Dallas. The pass down low here is McDavid. 97 looks. We see a goal from him. Bouchard back to him. One-timer at the far side, over the far corner. Chance to clear. Does so. It's all the way back. Skin will leave behind. Bouchard shouldn't start up. See that blazing speed from McDavid in just a moment? Maybe no. As Nugent-Hopkins take this one in. Nugent-Hopkins tangled up by Foxa. Foxa will just casually shoot this one all the way down. 42 seconds left on the period. The Oilers lead 2-1. If they don't score now, carry over power play tie. Here's McDavid versus speed. He's all the way across. McDavid shows the rebound picked up by Liddell off the save by Ottinger. This clear slowed down by Bouchard. He'll go back with this over his own zone. 20. Bouchard taking his time of it. Now here comes the drop pass. And that blazing speed again. McDavid in. Nugent-Hopkins. Over to Bouchard. Left point. Going back for the Nuge. RNH looking. Curling drag. That shot blocked. That was the easiest block that Dallas has had as Johnson fired this one out. And this will end the second period. And for the Oilers thus far, how about 2 goals in quick succession of 3 minutes and 19 seconds just after 16 shot came all the way from center ice in by Bouchard. It's a 2-1 lead for Edmonton.
I got to tell you, in between the Seguin, I understand that it's a mistake there for Kulak. Mistakes are going to happen throughout a hockey game. I am incredibly impressed with 40. I'm not going to sit here and take the other side, and maybe the Stars are sleepwalking a little bit. Maybe they weren't ready to open this game because you've had situations, unlike in the last round. No, they didn't hold against Colorado in game 1 when they had a 3-0 lead. They came on the front foot and dominated. On this one, they did not. Maybe the Oilers are bothering them a little bit. I think they are playing a great game. And honestly, as you said, Alec, in between that 6 or 7 save sequence in about a span of 1 minute and 10 seconds, the puck was all around the crease of Stuart Skinner, and he stayed poised because the shots were coming from everywhere. Top of the circles, outside the slot, and he made the saves he needed to make. And the Oilers now 20 minutes away with power play carryover time.
That's true. You know, power play time gained huge dividends. We speak of the Dallas penalty kill. Well, they can certainly use the boost here at some much needed clears. So far they're getting that, but they need to do this on a more consistent basis. Well, at least this game is going on better than what has been happening in Boston. If it can't get worse for the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton for the rest of the game.
Oh my goodness, that is awful news. Awful news.
People keep telling me the NBA playoffs are good this season, man. I look at it, the product doesn't deliver most of the time, man. I like if we get a Boston Dallas series, I will watch every game of that as soon as it's not on at the same time as the Stanley Cup. I'll watch every game of that. That'll be a good series. These conference finals, man, I don't know.
You had to get lucky on Tuesday, as I did, Owen, and then if you saw yesterday against Dallas, good on that end in between. So we'll see if we can get that, but this game too probably goes the way that Boston expects, because I think Boston, I'll just say this as we shift back and forth here, I think they did not play a perfect game in game 1, and they realized it was pretty close and say, hey, we can't let Indiana hang around. We'll take care of our business in the Garden.
Yeah, they put on their big boy pants.
Yeah.
They know who they are. I know it's not the best of nights for Jason Tatum tonight, but he's scoring the points that matter the most.
So, yeah, Kevin gone. Are they going to launch a whole bunch of NBC regional RSNs again? Because they're not going to have Wednesday night whatever games on their linear network. So what are they going to do? Put them on Peacock? Force people to sign up for that now too?
That is a good point, Owen, because a lot of people, unless you have Xfinity cable, you don't have Peacock, you'd have to pay for that. Unless you're going to put games on CNBC where nobody can find it. That might not be very good for some of the basketball coverages. Luckily, we don't have to worry about that for a hockey side yet, but that is something to think about.
When does your deal come up down there? Because ours is up in 26 as well up here for hockey.
Are you still dealing with Rogers or Sportsnet?
Well, that's the thing. They said they're going to bid again, but I imagine they're going to have challengers.
Because Sportsnet, you're able to get their app and sign up for stuff. I think they're going to lock in with certain teams at least for 10 or 12 years. So,
I've got all the games. I don't have to
yeah.
worry about that. It'll just be interesting to see who gets them and if the commentary teams that are on right now could transfer over with them. If TSN got the rights, they're so established in the sports industry now. And up here, the package basically, if you want to go that route and getting the games, you basically have to get Sportsnet Plus now.
We're safe here as far as playoff coverage between ESPN and TNT. Alec is the same way as that. Locally, I think that stuff just signed over the last year with Gary Bettman, so that's not going anywhere. As far as locally with Bally Sports, I'm screwed. I'm alongside the bunch of the 32 umbrella out of the 18 teams that don't have local coverage. I'd have to buy an app. But for the NBC for basketball, for what we're talking about, because you got football, you got some horse racing, you got racing in general, auto racing, you have the only thing they really don't touch is baseball. So it would be interesting to see what they do with basketball during the week.
Yeah, it would be. Speaking of basketball, you'd think they're going to get their broadcast packages together, which I believe they would. I wonder how much is. You also want to wonder how much is Mike Tirico going to be utilized if NBA on NBC is truly back and out for the line. Tirico already has to lead play-by-play duty for Sunday Night Football already in the NFL. So I feel if you were to be utilized in the NBA field, he may also have to do some more. So for NBC, you also have to get your announcing packages up together. Your announcing teams. Who's going to come over to TNT/CBS side if that ever happens? Are they going to bring them over? Or is that not going to happen? I feel it's NBC and Comcast that has to make some decisions after the line because this is a nice revival of the round ball rocket. John Tesh is going to be licking his chops hearing the round ball rock back and live in action. But still, you have to think of the business aspect of it.
Well, you can't even compare the two. Football is 18 Sundays in a week. Games on NBC just over a month. That's...
Yeah, they'll be fine for their Sundays. My only question is now.
Everything else.
Yep, everything else. Maybe their playoff coverage for NBA. What are they going to do? Obviously, Alec, I think you and I will agree with this. Whether or not the inside of the NBA crew, they'll figure out their own thing. They're going to make Kevin Harlan do some even more work. So he's going to be overworked. They're going to bring him in. Honestly, you know what? It's been a while since we heard the name. I know he does some stuff with the Sacramento Kings. Why not bring back Bill Walton?
How about it? I like the idea.
There's certain guys that are still available to be able to be rung back. I mean, you can always work with Mike Breen and all that ESPN. You can move things around. But you do need to bring out some names that people know, go through some of the old school stuff. And I'm sure, honestly, too, they'll get Reggie Miller and all that back from the TNT side. They'll take some of the guys across. But again, Kevin Harlan, Mike Tirico, they're going to be overworked because they're probably going to be the lead guys, I would imagine.
He could go over to NBC for the basketball coverage.
Yeah.
That could be an easy bet. If you want some nostalgia or around it, Harlan, Tirico, Ian Eagle, Brian Anderson, for nostalgia purposes, how about solo Bob Costas?
Why not? It's been a while for him since like '96.
Personally, I generally prefer to watch the League Pass pizza games when I can anyways. You can get them without ads, which is nice. You get the stadiums during the break. You hear all the wacky stuff they do in the arenas.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like the setup they have going on TNT. I like their lead team that they have. They're not going to bid for it. So again, by all accounts. So we'll see.
The interesting part now that we live in between the society, I know we're in the middle of our second intermission, but there's so many different services and there's all this different sports and all this money, and all these services are all fighting for our time, and it's just split out so much where everybody's trying to cut the cord. And then I imagine too at some point cable might be saying, hey, we need you back in the service, because I thought I heard some rumors that maybe like Fox, ESPN, and maybe one other company were trying to all join in together to house it all in one place.
That's confirmed. Later this summer, I think they're going to officially announce it. That is happening. I think Disney, Fox, I think Apple has a stake in it.
It's by streaming service.
Yeah, I think that nice to have, but then also I would say this: okay, we got all the unified streaming services, but can that mean I can watch my local team without? That's the way that it always works. So somebody's always going to get messed up in the end, but at least during the playoffs now we get to watch all this stuff without interruption.
Well, yeah, it's a double-edged sword too, because I think you get so much consolidation. Up here we have that basically two companies that control basically the entire Sportsnet market, Bell and Rogers, and anyone else who wants rights, subcontracts from them, or they literally just take the feeds from them and put them on their own channels, and they have some sort of agreement. It's better in the sense that we get more things on, and they're easy to find. I don't know if it's better for the market though. Like NFL up here, NFL, they have, for example, they have Bell owns the rights to the NFL, and on Sunday, you'll get anywhere from 4 to 7 1 o'clock games, and usually all the 4 o'clock games. All of them. Depending on who's playing, maybe not 7. But down there, y'all get 2.
Yeah.
From what I understand, and 2 and 4.
Yeah, it's pretty much whatever's on the local side for Fox or CBS, and that's what you got.
Oh, and then Bell, we get whatever Bell puts on, and then we get whatever the local CBS and Fox channels have that our cable providers subscribe to, and then if you want the rest, you buy DAZN. If you're a Packers or Vikings or Patriots or Bills fan, you almost never have to, because they always have the games on. Just linear TV up here. Or Seahawks, like all the pieces that are popular, and all the borders, they prioritize them. So I don't know, and up here, cable and streaming services are even more down there. Like at least you guys, you can get ESPN Plus for like $10 a month, I think it is. You get your money's worth for it.
Yeah.
Sportsnet Plus is like 20 some odd bucks a month, and you maybe get I think now they've included NHL in it. It's a little better, but aside from what you get on the regular TV, like ESPN Plus, you'll have college games, you get every NHL game, you get some baseball, you get some UFC, F1.
Yeah, I'm not complaining when it comes to ESPN Plus. It's allowed me to be able to do these and Cooper and all that from the comfort of my own bedroom against my computer here. So no complaints.
Not at all. And not only with ESPN, of course, with the hockey games, but also you get access to in-depth articles from the insiders over in the leagues that they cover.
Do they have insider NHL content on ESPN Plus?
They do. I mean, it's like Greg Wyshynski and Emily Kaplan. Emily Kaplan does a good job. I like her coverage.
Greg Wyshynski, you guys stole him from us, I bet. He used to be up here.
I don't know how much ESPN is paying him, but he is a very opinionated man, from what I see.
Yeah.
Very opinionated. I feel.
Is Draisaitl still working down there? Where's he now?
He mixes a little bit, Alec. I think in between, I know from the ESPN side, I think he was in the booth with the Vancouver Canucks with Shorthouse.
Because I think he was with NBC, I think, from what I remember.
He was.
I just couldn't stand him personally, but apparently.
NBC. Those are some of the best days of hockey in terms of broadcasting.
I liked NBC. It's much better than the Versus and the Outdoor Land Network days we got over here. Jeez, that was crazy.
Yeah, their commentary team is fun. I actually, NBC, you know my gripe with American TV hockey commentators. I didn't really have them with ton with that team. It was just they didn't platform it enough. That was my issue.
I agree.
You get one game on Saturday afternoon, and maybe one on Sunday, and then a bunch of playoff games.
I know we're deep into this intermission here, Alec, and you can take this 10 minutes or you can have me close if you want to close again, but I'll give you the first 10 minutes if you want it. Maybe I'll get a goal call here toward the end of it, but how do you see this Mavericks-Timberwolves series now that came to?
It's realistic that Dallas could take the first two games of the series, but Minnesota, they have to have firepower of their own. Both teams fought tooth and nail. I feel this series is going to be far from over. Even if the Mavericks win the first two games, Minnesota, they can still over Dallas court. Even if that happens, it's still not over. Not over until it's over, they say. So remember what happened last year between the Celtics and Heat. When the Heat went up 3 games to 0 against the Celtics, Boston forced the game 7, even though Miami won that 7th game at Boston home court. But still, and their stifling defense who can shut down opponents at the same time. But at the same time, you also have a ferocious backcourt duo of Luka and Kyrie for Dallas. Luka made his impact in the third and fourth quarters, especially in that fourth quarter where he had the majority of the team's points in the fourth. He's that good, especially when it comes to the clutch. He knows how to show up when it matters. So does Kyrie. For Minnesota, and to lock down defensively, you have to start trying to see who you're going to set on a double team on, whether it be Luka or Kyrie, if I were to make some adjustments. Try double teaming some more. Slow down the rhythm of this Mavericks offense with your stifling defense. If you double team Luka, you're prone to leaving Kyrie open on a single team.
Go ahead.
On Luka, Alec, I have to ask, this is the big question apparently right now. Did Luka deserve first team honors?
He does. I believe he fully deserves the first team honors. Shane, they both deserve first team honors with the way they played. I agree with this. They should put Luka on there.
Because some are saying you want him for Anthony Edwards.
Well, I feel it's a mix of in between. I feel Luka, I'm taking Luka over Benn in this regard, given the way that Luka has been the face of this Dallas franchise, and rightfully so with the style that he plays. It's not really all the flashy style, but it doesn't need to be all that flashy. I mean, he does all the dirty work for them, and he sets up his teammates. You don't have to be the flashiest player on your team to be the best player on your team.
I mean, I heard people making Jordan comparisons to Anthony Edwards yesterday, and all I could do was laugh. I hate to do that because then people going. It just drives me insane. But there was someone this morning, I think it was Danny Boy, who was saying that Jalen Brunson and Anthony Edwards should have made it instead of Luka and Giannis.
Wow.
I would not even go that far. I'm staying far away from that.
Yes. I don't agree with that decision, which at the same time, I also don't really agree with Kawhi over LeBron in second team.
Now, that was a pretty universally agreed upon thing this morning also.
It was baffling in move. It doesn't feel like kind of in a way, it feels like a move to protect Michael Jordan's legacy.
Load management, Kawhi, yeah.
And load management. So here we are, third period. Edmonton still on the power play. Allen now, John Owen Park in here. Oilers leading 3-1. Now we're even. This shot board 17 all. The Oilers fits throughout this game. See if that continues on. The pass in front. It went in front of Ottinger, but the Stars cleared this one out all the way out. 10 seconds left on this. Bouchard isn't fired up quickly. Will he do so? No, he's going to drop it back. This may essentially run out the rest of this power play. Here's McDavid inside. McDavid at the near corner. He waits. Power play's over. Back to the point. This goes with Bouchard. The long shot. That will reach Ottinger. Might have been blocked. Here's Bouchard on the hole. McDavid. Turnaround shot. Ottinger got back there as well. Here's Draisaitl on the hole. The turnaround pass. Right around this goes bouncing in. And it's collected by McLeod. The Oilers still with this. They protect it away. Hyman continue to be tied up. Marchment leveled him towards the boards. And here comes Dallas back the other way. They need the tying goal. The defensive pair out there. Bouncing puck reaches Skinner, play this away. Now at the near side boards. All the way up for the ice. The bouncing puck plays off the icing. No, it's going to cross the icing as Petrovic was there first. 18:35.
Pretty good contest between these two right now on the profile and Stewart's season. As Alec mentioned, he's had the traffic on top of him. Massive deflections there from Seguin and Benn. Stegeman trying to provide a rush in front. Lindell. I mean, these are chances that are all in the slot, and Skinner's turned them away.
Made the necessary saves out in front and has lived up to the goaltender that he was in the regular season in this game. These last few games has been good for him. 16 saves, 17 shots faced on the last 3 games in which he started. He's allowed a combined total of 4 goals. And granted, Vancouver's a low shot output, but Dallas is getting tested here. And it feels like they're getting agitated around. The Oilers back with this. This is Brett Kulak from Warren Fogle lead, the way I almost said Brett Kulak. Oh! Big hit on Evander Kane. A bouncing puck over to Johnson, drops it back, and the lead entry pass with sooner to Benn, sent inside. Skinner will lead this through, and this is Evan Bouchard, the breakout pass for Kulak. Will try again. Kulak, he'll wait. Easy save there, no rebound as Kane was approaching. 18:05 left in the third.
Yeah, that was a good flyby there from Kane after because Ottinger wanted to keep the play going. Good work there to force the face-off.
And for Jake Ottinger, even though he's allowed 2 means that he's allowed the 2 goals, both of them came on broken plays. It was too far for him to handle both of them. The face-off is won by the Oilers. Is easy on the key. High shot. Loose in front. Carrick on the backhand was denied by Ottinger. This is held inside by Janmark. At the left circle, curling. And here's CeCe holding it. CeCe around. Up for Brown behind it. Connor Brown on the hole opposite Petrovic. Left point, a deep shot. Gobbled up by Ottinger. He'll hold again for another face-off.
They try to get a little pushing and shoving here for the first time in this game. I wouldn't say that Dallas overly physical, meaning to try to start fights and little scruffles that we had in the Boston, Florida type series. I just started to see that now at the beginning of this third. We'll watch if it continues.
Sam Carrick got a little tied up on his rebound chance. And for the first time in this game, it seems the Oilers have the shot advantage here. Carrick on his backhand, look to bank this one in. Depth scoring is what is needed here. The Oilers will really want to get one. Here's Robertson. From behind is McDavid. His entry clear. Blocked down by Bouchard. Twist here. Just felt like how this game is going. Danuge around his goes. Cannon picks it up like it's pickpocketed. Here are the Oilers behind the net. Out in front, McDavid. He takes a spill on a big hit by Cannon and loses the puck. And this one goes over to the benches with 2:46 gone. Gee, what a hit.
Yeah. Smell on his jersey after that, and Seguin a little bit of smell. Maybe didn't mean to hit you that hard, but at least it's the playoffs. You got to get the physical play involved. Again, 21-7, what you said on the shot board, that's the most surprising here. Now they just took one away. It's going to be an offensive zone draw here for the Oils.
Draisaitl ARD from Nurse. ARD around, bouncing puck going past Draisaitl. Lands on to Holloway. Opposite the other 55, Thomas Harley. Harley shoving Holloway over to the wall, brings free at the near corner. Holloway in front, bouncing puck at the right circle. Dallas trying to tap him free without his. That one's stopped by Oettinger. Right about Wyatt. Loose puck as Dallas can't handle it. Now they can. It's Harley backhanded along at the far wall. Intended for Pavelski. Round the tie-up. This goes around over the far corner. Kane and Hintz get towards the wall again. Behind the net now is Harley. Thomas Harley looking to lead the rush. We're 3:30 deep in the third period. That Draisaitl takes it back up. He leads the entry. Draisaitl cross. Nurse, that's spot on by Oettinger. Now the pass across to the near corner. This is Draisaitl. Draisaitl, who's tied up by Haskinen, up and around. Harley almost intercepted behind it over to Holloway. Holloway in front. There was nobody here for the Oilers. It's cleared out by the Stars. Looking to tie this one up at 2. They've been trailing for the majority of this game. Ever since that first goal from Draisaitl in the second period, the Stars have never led in this game. They're 3-4 home this postseason, 5-1 on the road. Vogel dead towards the wall by Suter. And this goes over to the far wall. The Oilers keep this one aside. Suter bouncing puck picked up by Edmonton for a split second before Suter chopped at it. Dallas is trapped. They can't clear. Now they can. Here is McLeod back with this. At his own zones, Echo leading the way. The bouncing puck. You want to start pushing here because of all Oilers in this first period. Here they are now. Far corner. Kulak in on it. Puck strip free. Here's Kulak trying to pick this one up. And the bouncing puck recoils by the Oilers. Here's Hyman. Pickpocketed for one. Backhand this one inside. Oettinger's out of his crease. It's a possibility place for him to play behind his net. Cannon. Across for Lindell as Oettinger's back in his crease. Lead pass. Now to send in was Johnston over for Benn, who was tied by CC behind the net. Ridden towards the wall at the far corner. So wax at this puck. Movement. Still on no man's land. Benn and CC right at this. Nugent-Hopkins, Stanley all over as well. Here the Stars in the backhand shot went over Skinner's head. Here the Oilers on the takeout. It's the McDavid over to the left side for Nugent-Hopkins. Near corner, sends inside. Here's Cannon. Kris Cannon right over to the far side. The bouncing puck. Recollected by Stanley, now Johnson. Flipped on the backhand over to Nurse. Darnell Nurse. Right around this goes over to Desharnais on the wheel pass. Hyman. Right around this goes. Over to the Dallas Senators. Hayes didn't recollect this. Saves it over to center. And this one rushed to by Nurse and Carrick. Nurse there. Robertson poked it free as Seguin. Low contact between Janmark and one of his teammates. But Janmark has it over to Carrick. Return pass too far for Janmark. Then dumps down with Star. 6 minutes gone here in this third period. The lead pass over to Dadonov. The Dadonov left circle trying to send a through. The bouncing puck right across for one Oiler. There was good defense there. Here's Carrick. Stifle free. Here's Robertson now once again. Robertson on the lead pass. Here's Seguin's shot. That one. Trying to get this over to Kane and does so. Evander Kane. This bounces over to the Dallas end and recollected by Lindell. And so Lindell back across. Kris Cannon the lead pass for Jason Robertson. It's over the far wall. The shot off Skinner. The rebound loose. Jump. And Duchene almost had that one. The Oilers back the other way. Kris Cannon saw this clear over to Esa Lindell. At the opposite wall is Marchment was tied up. Oilers are over the Stars here. Strip free. Duchene was slowed down. The Oilers sent this back over behind Oettinger. Here's Lindell. Esa Lindell tied up by Holloway. And turned over to Duchene. Duchene opposite Draisaitl. Draisaitl knocked it free. Draisaitl away from Duchene as Bouchard goes around. Over to Ekholm. Ekholm plays it over near the Oilers bench. Flipped on over down low. And a race for this puck. It's McDavid picking up. And that was actually Vogel. There's Ryan now. Left point over to Kulak. Now Ceci. Ceci unloads one. That was Fox on the block. He breaks his stick in doing so he can't get the breakaway. Ceci will go back over to this away from Smith. This bouncing puck going over to the right point. The Oilers get it out. 7:30 gone the third period. Oilers lead 2-1. As the Stars are trying to move this one up. Certainly scoring. We have no scoring. Here is Draisaitl with a shot. Up this goes and a bouncing puck over the far corner. Spots to Benn on with this. Here come the Oilers. Is Hyman trying to stick this one down on the pass with Nugent-Hopkins at the near corner. Hyman, right point over to Bouchard, who's waiting. Bouchard, long wrister. The rebound loose. Pumped away several times. McDavid strip free. One-timer, Ekholm. That one one. At the Hyman tied up. Rushing to this is McDavid to play right free over to Ekholm. All sorts of long jams here between both sides. My time's running out here on the call here in the first 10 minutes of this third period, but here we get a break. Here's McDavid inside. Oettinger! Shut down now, McDavid. And puck right free as the fans are on their feet, tearing on the iron. We're 8 points removed here in the third. Here come the Stars inside. Stagger's shot. That was blocked just on the rebound. That went up high, and out this goes. What actually we had here in Dallas?
Here, Alec, you had about 9 minutes of unbroken play-by-play. That was almost highlighted there from Connor McDavid off the rush. Chances from the point. Oettinger with the most critical saves of the game to go to break as you keep it within one.
Well, work we see here from both sides of McDavid. Now, what is he split the defense over to the right circle? Is he making a fancy work around Oettinger? We know how good McDavid is. Let's also not take away from Oettinger. He's also a top-end goaltender, second-best goaltender among the remaining goalies remaining here, John.
Yeah, you'd have to think so. And Stuart Skinner right now trying to give him a run for his money. That is what he's going to need to do for the rest of this game if they want to be able to take this one-goal lead. Honestly, I think we're already in a situation where next goal probably wins. Again, I understand one of it could tie if Dallas ends up making it 2-2, but that's what it feels like right now. I think Dallas is going to get ready here, maybe in the next 5 or 6 minutes or so, start firing things at the net, really having to push, because otherwise you got nothing else to lose. You only be down one game in the series. Try to get something more at Stuart Skinner. And again, Alec, I'll say it like this, because we've seen it in Game 1, we've seen it in Game 7 a little bit against Vancouver. Do not play and as much of a shell as you did. Again, those were 3-goal leads at the time, but you can't afford to do that. Be playing the same way you're doing right now. You have a good chance of taking this one.
You do not want to make erroneous mistakes. Do not think of anything that the Rangers did in Game 1 against the Panthers, because even though the Panthers, they were suffocating the Rangers into mental mistakes.
Yeah, they were. And essentially, they couldn't even get out of their own way at times with all the giveaways that you mentioned. And that forecheck is unrelenting. And Edmonton's might not be at that level, but it's certainly shown itself in this game. I think they're showing the Dallas Stars right now that they can play in this series. We don't know how long it's going to go, but this is a hell of an effort. And we all said they needed to do this in Game 1. So far, so good. Tons of time left, though.
You have John, you want to take the rest away?
It's up to you. I'll take it. It's 11:10 left to go in the third. Again, trying to keep it as even as possible, because sometimes I'll throw Dalek an extra minute when we get that stoppage. Here's a rush opportunity for Fogel. This one goes in behind the inboards. Goes out of play. So right at 11 minutes left to go in the third. Looking at Paul Coffey. Again, you got Kris Knoblauch, Peter DeBoer. You got some really good coaches in this league right now. And this intrigue, Alec, as we talk, never expected right now. Let's be honest. Did we expect this scoreline?
No, but we were expecting something more towards a 4-2 type of game.
Yeah.
Whether it be one way or another is up for debate, but 2-1, this is a chess match of defense, as we mentioned earlier, John.
Yeah. I was really kind of shocked the way that everything went yesterday. I mean, I knew Florida was a better team. We both took Panthers. You literally flipped a coin yesterday because I felt the same way. It could go 6 or 7. It was going to be deep. And on this one, I thought it might be a little bit shorter, but here's Edmonton. Who knows if this is going to be their best game in the series? If they can do this in game 2, you really got belief at that point. As an opportunity now for Wyatt Johnston. 10:35 left to go in this third. Wyatt still working off the backhand. He's trying to find a lane. He'll spin and turn near the right side dot. His shot goes off the short side of Skinner. And now Edmonton and the Road Whites with the blue and orange stripe, and they'll got it. They'll enter the zone now. Darnell Nurse. They'll just take one that gets sticked out of the air nicely by Stankoven. We'll take it right to left. Here's Robo. Full speed. Pass across. Here for Matt Duchene. He's playing where Roope Hintz normally would. Here's a pass. Read perfectly by the defense. Here's a chip. Zach Hyman. He's by himself. We'll have to take a hit from Kris. Spin among the embankment. Here's Hyman. Still on the forehand, and he lost it off the loft. He just got stick lifted. Robo now. Find the entry. Here's a pass to the right. In between the legs, I believe, of Dadonov, as this goes down the left side red line. Pass in the high slot. Dallas. They don't elect to shoot. Robertson trying to get a puck retrieval. DeBoer is moving the lines now at this point, even early on the third with Seguin and Benn. Hyman now off the entry. Beautiful play outside of the cage. RNH trying to make a play. Now Dadonov gets the retrieval on his own end from Matt Duchene. Duchene keeps it alive. Texas D sends it one down. 9:15 left to go in the third. 23-19 on the shot board. Edmonton up 2-1. John Eider with you alongside Alec Nava and Owen Park, and I'll take it the rest of the way. If we go to OT, we'll evenly split that as well. This could be an OT type game as Suter puts inside red line, intercepted. Good shot block. Stopped it from getting anything out in front for Edmonton as this goes in around the end boards. Marchment will chip it. Joe Pavelski turns it over, but it's offsides. No worries there. 8:48 left.
So as we get the stoppage, so it is final at Boston. 126-110 your final score. The Celtics go up 2-0 on the series. What a night for Jaylen Brown. 40 points of 14-27. Jason Tatum didn't replicate the performance that he had in game 1, but he did finish with a solid 23 points, making the shots that did count in the end. Al Horford led the way with 10 rebounds, and Drew Holiday with 10 assists, even though he didn't record a steal or a block. 10 assists. Nothing to scoff at.
No, that's exactly why you bring Drew Holiday, get him there. They're still waiting to get Kristaps Porzingis back. So this Celtics team not even in full form yet. They get a definitive win in game 2 after Jaylen Brown forces the OT. And again, I know we talked about it the other day, Al, but I still can't believe that there were some Boston fans entertaining moving on from Jaylen Brown. I think Tatum and Brown, that's a perfect combination now. They're in the prime of their careers. They've been there forever. They have a good chance to win a title. I think if they get Kristaps Porzingis back, assuming they get out of this series already up 2-0, they're in a good spot, and this might be their best chance.
It is their best chance with this current core. Championship or bust, it is for the Celtics. And it's a deal. 2-0, not over yet. 3-0, you're creeping closer to being a game over.
Yeah.
You feel that way. So for the Celtics, you want to take it one step at a time on these wins. I know Pacers fans are going to be loud coming on Saturday. And what a weekend they're going to have. Not only are the Pacers going to play in town in Eastern Conference Final, you have to end 100 on Sunday. Now, I know Pat McAfee did a one-on-one did an interview earlier at the Pat McAfee show with Scott McLaughlin, who will be the post sitter for the Indy 500 this year. The big storyline here, Kyle Larson doing the double. Weather may impact the Indy 500 because there might be some forecasts going for some inclement weather. We don't know if it's going to affect the 500 if the race is going to reach there.
Man, that's going to be fun. The 500 this one. Oh, yeah, he wants to do that and then fly right over to That's
Yeah, Coke 600.
I will say this really quickly before I get back to the play-by-play. I mentioned that I've been there before. I always say bring a lot of sunscreen. I've heard about the weather as well. Usually not a factor. Sometimes when the race starts, that's when the clouds depart. Just bring your sunscreen. You guys should do that. as this goes to the left side red line to find an entry now for the Oilers. It's Draisaitl. Work his way behind the cage. There's a slap shot from the point, and Ottinger's got it all the way. Edmonton leads on the shot board 25-19.
So, although Ekholm got the deep shot up front, the good save there by Ottinger to continue on, the last double attempt with an Indy 500 Coke 600 was from Kurt Busch when he was racing for the now defunct Furniture Row Racing in his 78 car. Tony Sweet, he chose the 14 car in the latter half of his career in NASCAR to pay homage to his hero, A.J. Foyt.
AJ Foyt was one of the good ones. This is a face-off win for Connor McDavid. Again, we saw all the Otter masks in the building right now. A little bit subdued. Another icing against the Stars, though. We'll see if the Lindell line is going to be a little bit gassed here.
I feel that this may go against the Oilers this time around, or is it? Yeah, it's against the Stars. Yeah, the Lindell line is gassed. I feel Ottinger is going to get an increased workload now that the Oilers are back in the zone at the right side. You feel like the Oilers are going to send their best attackers, which they're doing right now. Do you feel like they're going to get a quick goal here? Probably not.
So it was McDavid against Wyatt Johnston, 21-year-old trying to get a face-off win. This goes all the way back to Matthias Ekholm. He'll make the pass across the left side red line, glove down, find the entry across the wall. And it's an opportunity now for Dallas off the chip and chase. We'll see who can get to this now. Here's Stankoven. He'll make the pass. It bounces off the referee. It's near the right dot. Here's that short side angle chance as Lindell will send this one in deep. Dallas and their offensive end trying to get elongated puck possession. Jamie Benn, wrister blocked. Here's an outlet pass. Break, Connor McDavid had to get around the bowling pins. It took a couple players to dispossess him. Now the other captain, seeing Ben, will get stick flipped. 6:55 left to go in the third. Dallas needs a goal if they want to force overtime. It's 2-1 Edmonton. Can they steal this one in American Airlines to start the Western? Dallas Mavericks did it. Why not Stars? As this is sent back in. Why not Edmonton against the Stars, I should say. As this is sent back in for Nurse off the chip. This one will be sent back in high off the glass, and this will be blown dead. 6:34 in the third.
I guess the missed glove down was the blessing. As it got the icing off. And McDavid was speedy as Lindell matched it, though. And McDavid shook him up, but that was perfectly timed by Lindell. It tied McDavid on the breakaway.
Excellent defense, as you mentioned there, Alec, from Essa. Again, he was already on the side where he couldn't change from an icing, and then he has to go toe for toe there with Connor McDavid. I don't care if Connor McDavid's at 75% or whatever he is. You still got to be versatile against his speed and Essa Lindell. That was a beautiful defensive mirror. As this is now picked up by Edmonton. We'll take a long flip down, and we'll see who will get to this first. It'll be Brown. Try to get a stick on it. Ottinger will cancel it off, and now Thomas Harley try to take this one right to that top line after some been made. Matt Duchene off the stick lift. It'll fall right to Skinner. They'll hold it. A little bit of pushing and shoving there with CC, but again, as we said, not much has come from that today.
Not really expecting any gloves dropped here. This rivalry isn't that much significant as we see in Battle of Alberta. Them in the late 90s, early 2000s when they been the first round time and time again. It feels like 98 through 03 felt like the first round bye for the Stars. The Oilers did that big upset in 97, as they'll remember that history. The Oilers are up 2-1 in this game. The Stars are still fighting back. By goal.
Seguin off the face-off win. As this goes high off the glass, we'll see if Dallas can keep it in. Harley trying to pinch across the left side boards. This will go back in behind the cage of Skinner. Outlet pass, and now we're starting to see the Dallas forecheck create some mistakes as this gets iced again, and it's we're getting a ton of stoppages. Alec had about 9.5 minutes of unbroken up and down play, but this is starting to be a war to go.
It feels like a trench warfare, as you mentioned. Trench warfare between both sides on a defensive battle. The 2-1 scoreline attests 25-20 shots for the Oilers. Stars, there's still, I feel there's a sense of frustration for Dallas is mounting up now.
Yeah. It's iced again for Edmonton. Cody Ceci didn't want to do that. So say, Al, like if Edmonton holds on to win this game, this feels like a Stanley Cup final type of game. And what I mean by that is you have to win games defensively, score clutch goals when you need to, and have doing so in this game so far.
It feels like we go back to 1990 for the Oilers when you think about post-Gretzky, and you have to account for everyone. A good job on everyone, including Mark Messier and Bill Radford that year.
Here is a wrister that's stopped by Ottinger, bounces up in the, and this will be lifted back out toward the left side red line and then partially gloved by the victory green. Jimmy Benn trying to get this the other way now. He'll just chip and chase himself. It almost handcuffs Stuart Skinner as we get a collision in the left side boards. This will go from dot to dot. And now Edmonton will try to take this left to right for the rest of this period in the road whites, blue pants, orange striping. Victory green for Dallas at home with the black pants. Good outstretch. And Marchment tried to make a play between his legs. He'll finish his hit against RNH. We're down to the final five as this is intercepted by Kris Tanev. Again, he pick up from the Calgary Flames. Hell, all the Calgary Flames. I know some of them have been eliminated now, but they've all been good on their new teams. And we'll with Zadorov and Lindell, and they both need contracts. Imagine they're going to get them. As Evan Bouchard. This will get slap-shotted in behind the embankment. Off the half spin. Hyman trying to pry it loose. Edmonton doesn't need to do anything here. They just can't make any mistakes in their own end. Right now they got it in Dallas's defensive end as this is flipped away from McDavid. McDavid now. Here's a shot from Desharnais, fought off by Jake Oettinger. He couldn't locate it. Make an outstretched feed to Matt Duchene as this goes back around the right side red line. Off the spin, this will be lifted up, not out of the zone yet. And now across left side red line. Dallas trying to find an entry, got peeled back. So Peter DeBoer's forwards to take a change. And Jason Robertson will send it in the play. 3:40 left to go in the third. Edmonton still up by a goal. Will I call a goal in this game? As this goes now toward the right side boards, set in behind. Stuart Skinner looking busy here as Robertson will send it back to his defense. Slap shot partially blocked. It's still available. Near the right dot, wide open. Seguin gets the carom. We're tied.
Plays in which it bounces over during open man. Goaltender was out of position. He couldn't play it. It bounces up the backhand pass, or was a forehand pass. It was Robertson. He tried to shoot this one himself. It gets blocked out at Edmonton's stick, and it fortunately bounces over to Seguin for Dallas and tie this one up at 2. I think this bounced off of Nurse, or was it Desharnais? Who it was, but it was Nurse. And it goes over to Seguin, who was wide open. Tie game. All night up at 2.
And now Holloway's got a break. And this goes the other way. This is lifted. This is still underway. That was right in off the draw. It was Seguin wide open off the goal. Nothing Skinner could do. And now welcome to the party. Everybody's awake here. Get your Red Bulls. As this is sent in the left side. Everybody's standing now. After that goal, it's 2-2. Seguin with a Christmas gift. As it's Kane with a ripper. Stopped by Ottinger.
Now we have everyone under me here. They're all coming alive here at the A. The loudest they've been in this game, Tyler Seguin with the goal. I know they're looking for the first game 1 victory under DeBoer, and this may be the perfect time for them. You know, of the 4 game ones that they've lost in 5 tries, 4 of them have went into overtime.
Yeah, I think we might be going to overtime. It should be good. Obviously, I like the Oilers to get it done, but nothing like overtime hockey. I'm never complaining.
Yeah, I agree with Alec on the side. I sense of the overtime, but I mean, man, oh man, you had 2 goals essentially in this game for both teams where the goaltender could do absolutely nothing about it. Broken plays off a shot block, Draisaitl one-timer scores. Broken plays off a shot block, Seguin all alone to the right side. Dot Skinner can't get over her, and that's why this game is toast.
As Donov and Robertson on the assist, it actually was Donov who had a bounce off of at the left circle, but it was a smart by Robertson. I feel he was trying to shoot this himself, but it was fortunately a friendly fire block off the stick, more or less, as Robertson intentionally planned to bounce it off the Donov's stick.
We'll say this, maybe Dallas likes OT, and again, I don't want to steal anybody's pick, but if Matt Duchene can do that in double overtime against Colorado, who's to say he couldn't do it against Edmonton?
I mean, it is certainly a possibility we can see this game going either which way. Perhaps a comeback completed or a spoiled comeback.
Yeah, any intrigue that we waited to get yesterday? Well, we got today, Alec. This has been a fantastic game. And yeah, it bounces in between a pile. Seguin, I mean, that's any of us could have scored that goal there. Seguin took the poise on the stick and finished it off. We're going to get back into the play-by-play here. Offensive zone draw. Connor McDavid on one end against Jamie Benn. And now Dallas try to lift. See if they can get it out. Yes, they will. Jamie Benn make the drop now for Tanev. And now Dallas will press the other way. Stankoven. Now for Benn. Left to Wyatt Johnston. That goes just wide of the left crease. 2:25 left to go in the third. All of a sudden, Dallas now has life. It's kind of funny how goals will do that to you. It gives you a little bit of a blood flow. As McDavid, NH, send it back around. Connor, he's got it. Back to his defense. Evan Bouchard, he's known to be a hero. Deep. Everybody's standing right now, so that's going to make the play-by-play a little bit difficult when it comes to certain camera angles, but you can't blame the fans. They're excited for what just took place. This is bounced in the high slot. It's a race for the puck, but it'll go back to neutral. Evan Bouchard will slowly put this in the left side, send it in. Dallas, Lindell braces for impact as this goes to the left now. Picked up by Janmark. Send this one in deep. Connor Carrick as well. As this one's flipped away from Lindell. The action just seems to follow him around as this is picked up by Essa. He shovels this player's bench. 126 in regulation.
He's going to get some water in this meantime. He's going to get it checked all the way. Not even seconds after the second goal, he almost had the answer. That would have been almost a good moment. He's shaking his head over the bench. His auditor is locked in. The moss pits, oof, got a feel for them because that was so close to being a game breaker for Holloway. But a good look at the left side, blocker side.
Yeah, as you said, Alec, it's an excellent move for Holloway. Ottinger was just better. That's really all you can say there. Draisaitl 5 of 17 on the draws. He's normally a little bit better than that. We'll see what Tyler Seguin's got here. Normally Jamie Benn would take these, but Seguin wins it back. You got Seguin, Benn, Pavelski, Wyatt Johnson. You got some really good face-off takers here on the Stars, and that matters now late in the game. He didn't get their own zone. By Evander Kane, the other 91 in Seguin. A minute 5 left to go in this third as it's sent back around Cody Ceci as this bounces off the kick plate, and now all of a sudden my fire stick stopped, but this is picked back up now with 50 seconds left to go in the third. Almost scared me for a moment. This is now the defensive end for Edmonton. Sent back in Ottinger. Will he elect to hold? No. We'll leave it for Miro Heiskanen. Down to 40 seconds. Robertson. Shots on goal are 29-22 for Edmonton, but the score is tied at 2. Here's a chance, Suter. This one high off the glass. Dallas will pinch. Lindell off the backboards, but it goes right to Edmonton. They will left side red line, sent in again, bounce Skinner's left pad. Down to 10 seconds. Marchment steals. Duchene in between his legs. So get it back down to 4. Dallas got to shoot it. This is blocker to side by Skinner. We go to OT.
What a masterful game here in Game 1 between Dallas and Edmonton. What a masterful game it is for the Oilers, and what a masterful game for the Stars. They're thinking it's a 4-2 scoreline. We'll get a 3-2 scoreline in the end. Second straight playoff overtime game for the Stars. 5th time in the overtime playoff game. They lost the previous 4. They could be due for one here.
I want to say this. Go ahead.
I don't know if I saw this one coming, to be honest. I thought Edmonton was either going to hold out or Dallas was going to find a way, but here we are. I don't think it's a long overtime.
Well, I'm settled to take the first 10 minutes, but I can throw it to Alec if he wants to close it. If you don't think it's going to be long, because we'll see which way it goes. Honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised. Whatever intrigue, again, as I mentioned, we didn't get yesterday. What we're getting today, gentlemen, I was entertaining the fact I was taking the off day anyway, but I was thinking I might just move to Sunday and cover the Mavs. But if the game 1's going to be as good as this one is, I probably do have to cover game 2 between the Oilers and the Stars.
Yeah, I feel like that may be a good choice there in the game 2 side of and then some. This one, Game 1 going to overtime views, is an evenly matched chess match. The Oilers, good defense, struck out offensively with some of their good chances in the second period. The best ones come from Draisaitl, Hyman. They found it back in net. Dylan Holloway almost scored in the third period. McDavid got shut up on the break out with Seguin tying it up. Tyler Seguin with the 2 Stars goals coming all more than 2 of them. Seguin from Benn, Seguin from Duchene and Robertson. The first one was a broken play of a Benn pass to Brett Kulak, but all 4 of these goals have come on broken plays. It would be not really coincidental if the 5th goal was on a broken play.
No, it's been all out defensive effort for both. I agree with you, Alec. It's definitely possible that we see it again for goal number 5. And oh, by the way, we talk about Dallas and their all-around type game, and I think we've called Seguin's name a lot in between the Colorado series and between the Vegas series as well. I think goals 4 and 5 are very well deserved, honestly. For all the chances in the first couple rounds when he was denied near the left side dot when he was open, making good plays, Seguin's played so well out. He could have 9 or 10.
Yeah, he has. And just 3 assists in the first 8 games of the postseason. But ever since, he's now up to 5 goals and 5 assists in total. When we look at it, so that's 10 points, 7 points ever since 2 assists in the first 8 games of the playoffs. When a turnaround's now popping up, making his presence felt like the Seguin in the days of old with Boston and his early years in Dallas.
Yeah, and again, I want to take one more point to that, and we can steer it wherever. But in 2020, when they made the Cup final, again, it was the Bolts against Anton Hudobin on the other side. Really, the only other mainstays that you had there were Benn and Seguin that were signed over from Jim Nill. And I know, again, you got Nill when we talk about Jake Ottinger and Robo and Roope Hintz, now Wyatt Johnston, Stankoven, all the perfect draft record. But my point is this. Maybe from 2020 to 2024 right now, as it stands on May 23rd, I don't know if we expected Seguin and Benn to still play at this level, but yet here they are getting it done.
Yeah, 8 points for Benn heading into this game. Seguin up to 10 points with the 2 goals that he's had. Benn now has 9 points, and they're still playing at a high level. And with the contracts they've been playing and the contracts they've been offered, I know this has been too much for them, but still, nothing's ever too much when they're still playing at a high level and still playing at such a high level.
Yeah.
And make those contracts, well, you can question the contracts, but you can't question the heart.
No, you got like 8 or 9 million in between both of them, respectively. We can talk the same thing about Sergei Bobrovsky for the Florida Panthers, and then getting 10 plus, and then making that type of expedition yesterday, and some of the saves that he made. So we talked about it, and you already gave us the reset here as we're going to get settled for overtime once we get to that. No commercial breaks until it's done. But I got to ask you, because I'm taking the off day tomorrow. I don't know if you're going to cover game two in between the Panthers or the Rangers, but how do you feel? Because game one, that was a master class from the Florida Panthers. I understand when Ian came in, he made some mentions about the Rangers choking, or you guys are thinking this could be like a 5 game series now. I'm not ready to go that way yet, but if the Florida Panthers can mirror what they did in game one, then I might start to lean that way. But how do you feel? Do you still think the Rangers have a good shot at this one like I do? But what's got to change for them?
You gotta get the Panthers to commit a penalty. If you want to get your power play up and running, you have to start drawing the penalty. The Panthers, they play disciplined hockey and a physical brand end of it as well. So disciplined hockey and physical hockey, they can both mix. You do not have to go too overly physical, but physical enough that you can wear down your opponent and tear them down to an extent that they get into mental mistakes as in game one. That was a tactical supplication in game one. And we continue on with this. But the Rangers is back to the draw. Take it one step at a time. Limit the amount of more turnovers you have. It's the simple things. It's the small things. So you have to find your open men. Find the open lane. And to lead you to breakout passes. If there's an open breakout lane, go that way. If Kreider gets loose, you find him.
Yeah, I think the simple things are what's going to matter the most in this series between Florida and New York because both the teams, excellent tops. And like I said, Florida, I think I might have underestimated them a tad, especially when you think about Gustav Forsling, because I saw something on NHL Network today. Even though he was due for a pay raise for Gustav Forsling, right now he's the 60th highest paid defenseman. Let that sink in, considering how good he is, like at a plus 66 right now through the regular season and the playoffs. So elite goaltending as well. Again, you're simple things that are the best. I mentioned this in the article yesterday, and this was in my forethought. I don't know if many people are talking about this because I think Peter Laviolette's a fantastic coach. But Paul Maurice, I think he might be the marionette to the puppet. He pulls all the strings, and that might be the biggest advantage for the Rangers.
Get a true voice in the system. That's not saying that Laviolette isn't impactful, but Paul Maurice maybe establishing himself as the among the class of the Eastern Conference coaches. The hiring came with some questions because of the falling out they had with the Winnipeg Jets and with all of what is happening around. But with him in the mix, he showed that he was not the problem in Winnipeg. And he showed that with that season like the Panthers had last season. To try to get back to the Stanley Cup final is always a tough task to make it to the final. It's even tougher making it back to the final. But Maurice has done an excellent job with the transforming this team of a complete 180 from what they were.
Oh yeah, I mean, Florida is crazy. They didn't even beat Boston. Never mind went to the final.
Right.
I mean, this team is all it's cracked up to be. They can, if they beat New York, they get that title.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. I think we're all leaning as far as to get to the Stanley Cup final. And honestly, I'm waiting until probably June 8th when that starts to see how I feel about these one of these playing up against Florida. Now, this game one that we're covering right now that's about to head into OT has been nothing short of terrific. But I still wonder, especially from last night, did Florida separate as the best team or one of the best teams in the NHL? Hell, we already knew that they were a top team, but you just don't do that to teams like the Rangers, and it makes me wonder, can they do that to the Stars?
It's realistic. They were my Stanley Cup and felt that they backed that up in their playoff run that they've had, and they validated how I think they'll win the Stanley Cup. I was in between with the Rangers and the Panthers. I know I leaned a bit towards the Rangers in the show that Owen and I recorded, but I still believe that the Panthers, they can get this done. I'm not counting them out, and neither am I counting out the Rangers. And this can go either way, 6 or 7 games. However, this can go towards, because they both have the tools and take it over to the top. The Panthers, I feel they're the more well-rounded team. The Rangers, I feel the advantage in power play, special teams, and goaltending.
They do. And again, we always talk about swings and what matters and maybe trying to go ahead and find a split for the Rangers at MSG. And I'll say it like this. And you go to Florida, I think Florida at this point might have the best home. That is, if a team goes down 2-0 to them and they go back home, I think the best that they can hope for is the series goes back 3-1, because Florida is not going to win both games on home ice. They're not going to lose both games.
They're not. They're just that good. They're a well-rounded team, as is mentioned again. And the Panthers, they know how to win on the road. Home ice disadvantage doesn't seem to deter them. We learned from this last year. And I know we're 8 seeds making it to the Stanley Cup final. Some may ask themselves, how in the world did they get here? Well, over the years, it starts to make more sense. Last year, given the road that they had, it was a deconstructed route. Despite not getting someone in the trade deadline, the fact that they made it to the Stanley Cup final last year as an 8 seed, now.
Yeah, because you play playoff hockey essentially for 2 months. You're fighting for your life to get in. And then the crazy part from what we talked about for them is you're so beat up in the first round series with broken foot, broken sternum, all the other guys out. Then you come back in, you're supposed to be slow out of the gate. That's what I predicted. Like, Florida's still going to make the postseason, but they'll be slow out of the gate for the injuries. Nope, they win the Atlantic, and then they completely dominate. And now they're looking healthy going into this postseason as we're deep. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And now I'll be even more interested. I think at this point I am going to lean Saturday back into game 2 when I return after the off day. Alec already gave you the reset as far as the score line. I'll just tell you, Ottinger, 27 out of 29. Stuart Skinner's had one of his best games. 24. Your shot differential is 29-24. Edmonton hits are tied at 27. We don't think this is going to be a very physical series on both sides. Not to say there's not going to be hitting, but both teams like to play with pace. 27-24 on the face-off circle. That's a little bit surprising because I think 27-24 there. And the power play opportunities, Dallas 0 for 3, Edmonton 0 for 1. I think that's for Dallas, as we said going in, because their penalty kill percentage is only sitting at 67% in the postseason, and that has to improve if they want to get to the Stanley Cup Finals.
And they have to, especially against a red-hot Oilers team that's lethal on the man advantage. And the fact that they killed out that power play is huge. And they can strike now. So we see both teams coming out from the locker rooms and soon to return onto the benches. But that's huge from the Stars to kill off that penalty.
All right, boys, I will let you lead off. Give me your OT hero for both teams.
So I'm going to start here. So for the number one picking to win it in overtime, I'm going to go with Dylan Holloway getting his first career playoff overtime winner. And for the Stars, you know what? I want the hat trick. Tyler Seguin to win it.
What about you, Owen?
For the Oilers, I'm going to go with the man who scored Leon Draisaitl. And then for the Stars, I'm going to go with. Let me see here. This one's a tough one. Let me go with.
Heiskanen? Okay. So I'm going to go with, again, it's easy to go with Zach Hyman. I feel like it's going to be done. let's see Connor McDavid. I'm finally going to pick him. I know it's on the board. It's easy to pick, but he hasn't gotten a lot of goals. He's only got 2. So I'm going to take him to get 1. He's got to get 1. I'll go on the other side here. Give me the captaincy, Jamie Benn. I'm going to go both captaincies.
Amazing choices for you. So we look at the overtime goals for Dallas. Joe Pavelski 4, Matt Duchene 3, Craig Smith 2, Kris, Tyler Seguin, Wyatt, Johnson each have 1. Look at their overtime goal scores. McDavid, Bouchard, Hyman all each have 1. So one of them is going to join this list from our predictions. Well, if my manager Holloway is correct, but McDavid has 1, Hyman has 1.
And again, Alec, just make mention from the TNT side, there was multiple Seguin picks. I think you're going to be rolling some hot dice. We'll see what happens here in the first 10, and then I'll give it back to you before the ice scrapage, as this one is sent back in. So here we go. So Owen said that this was going to be a short OT, so maybe I'll have my work cut out for me here. We'll see what happens. Again, you normally don't take the top names, but there hasn't been a lot of goals scored between the two. So it's not exactly a given, as Matt Duchene might be getting some work near his face.
Yeah, he got bludgeoned up high. If it was a stick up to his face, that high stick is not called. If it was light contact in Duchene's face, if McDavid's stick up high into Duchene's face, and he was hobbled up, lost his glove, and he's feeling it. He's going off into the locker room to get further evaluations. He's going to be coming back.
He's going to have to come back here. They can't even afford to lose him. Are they going to call 2 or 4? Because this would be big.
They're going to check for blood up in his lip before he goes off.
That's what it looks like, Alec, and that's what Duchene said. Hey, come over here. Look at me, please.
If he was begging for 4, I feel might be some blood up in his lip. I think that may be the argument for who knows.
Double minor against Connor McDavid.
That is bad for Edmonton. Now that they had the double minor against him, McDavid, there was some light contact from what it seems. And some looks may be deceiving. Even though it may look like light contact, the contact may be harder from what we were given on the camera angle. And we see the blood on McDavid's lip, or Duchene's lip. He says, look at me, and we see he's going to get a further look from the medical staff. This may be the big. We're going to officially review this.
4 minutes. It's confirmed. And again, Alec, you can cue the Pac-Man sound after being eaten by the ghost for my prediction, as McDavid's going to sit for 4 minutes. Unbelievable. We like to have fun around here. I did not expect number 97 to sit in the box. Again, it might be an even exchange because, hey, you lose 1C and 1C on one side for Duchene. So 4 minutes for Dallas on the power play. You're not getting a better chance than this. So what are they going to do? Jamie Benn now, off this draw. It's kept in by Dallas. Can they win it right now? As this is near the right side, dot for Robertson. Benn shoots. This one saved by Skinner.
And as we speak of Pac-Man, here come the shots. Waka, 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 waka.
There.
Performance interpolation of this. Well, how I would do it because that's how Pac-Man goes. As Skinner is eating these up on his own. So more of these. I don't know how many ghosts are going to be around, but everyone's on their feet.
Yes, they are. And that was pretty good, Alec. I'll give you a 10 out of 10 for that one. Jimmy Benn, I guess one of my predictions is still alive here. The other one's sitting in the box. Derek Ryan's got to take this draw against Jamie Benn, and Jamie Benn's really good in the circle. As this is now Robertson. This one D to D. It's an opportunity for Wyatt Johnston. Pass high slot, Seguin. Here's a chance. This goes off the puck. And now a battle for the puck. It stays out. Seguin was there, Owen.
Yeah, he was right there. So close for the winner. He said quick overtime. And I think it was Robertson, rather, not Seguin, but that went off the post.
Yeah, no chance to save that one if not for your best friend. That's what you talk about. The post thanks to save is still 335 with Connor McDavid in the box. So I guess he's going to get some extra rest if they can kill this whole thing and then be out there fresh. Heiskanen, now's a wrister. This one goes off the outside of the cage again, the ref says no. Man, oh man. Now for Johnston. Here's a pass, doesn't find anybody. Robo try to settle it down. This is not out. Jamie Benn will get this down to the left side red line. Robertson. Heiskanen. This is solved by Skinner with a glove.
Here's your guy, Owen. The top of the step point. At the high slot. Some shot that was outside the post this time. It's twice that Robertson hit the goal. The goaltender's best friend just can't catch a break on this card.
Dallas is doing a great job right now of getting traffic in front, obscuring the vision of Skinner. They've come so close, within a breath of scoring. Tyler Seguin, many of them to go ahead and pick this for the hat trick. Alex got that as well. That's alive and well. Looks like we're going to do this draw again. Lots of trepidation here as Tyler Seguin's got a big bottom six lines for Kris Knoblauch to win these draws and get this puck out of the zone quickly, because Skinner has already been saved by two posts, outside, one on the inside. Seguin, this one will go back. Now to the right side red line. Everybody's standing. As E. Here's a wrister. This one saved by Skinner. He's up. Now he's back down in the stand-up trying to find the puck. Stankoven now. He's being swallowed up by the crowd that here. People waving their towels. Vincent Desharnais. They'll chip it off the glass, and Edmonton escapes the danger for the first time. The double minor, they don't need both, they only need one. It's sudden death. It's 2-2. Stankoven, find the entry now. This might be given back to him across the Darnell Nurse gets a stick on it. This is kept in by Miro. They'll send it across. Robertson, Marchment makes a pass. Here for Seguin. Lost him between his skates. Now Miro Heiskanen out of Mason Marchment. He played hero before. Heiskanen. This goes off the end boards, and Skinner found it. Will hold on.
He has a weird bounce for Heiskanen, but you take those funky bounces any day you can. The one part that's missing, you have to have someone who baseball batted right through Skinner.
Well, somebody's got Dallas Stars nails and earrings on. Some young lady, as everyone's standing on it. Money for these tickets here at American Airlines, and this is the type of game that you want, a game one that goes into OT and lots of intrigue. Maybe some Stars fans expected to be on the road by now, but they're in OT. Joe Pavelski, another one to take the draw. Doesn't have a ton of points in the playoffs, but you know he's due. You want to see him lift the Stanley Cup. He's never done so. As it's RNH against Joe Pavelski. Pavelski, as this one brushes near the right side, Dallas is passed back to the defense. Goes right back to Jake Ottinger. As the double minor's down to 2 minutes, so we'll treat it like one more. Edmonton's penalty killing has been perfect, but it could be jinxed at some point if Dallas can find one in the next 150. As this one, Harley trying to locate it. Edmonton shovels it down again. They're starting this overtime essentially with their bottom six being used. Intended rest. Getting that boon in their favor if they kill it. That would be interesting to see. As this is into the defensive end of the Oil near the right side. Bodies are just falling down everywhere. Pavelski gets a retrieval in the high slot. It's Robertson wide open. This hardly. And now picked up off the backhand, shoveled away across the Texas D. Robo's still out there. He's been out there for the entire extended 2 power plays. Wyatt Johnson, he's got the young, fresh legs. It'll be a thrill for the 20-year-old if he can score another goal. This one sent back down. It went on a play anyway. 1 minute left to go on the power play.
And should Edmonton kill off this last minute of this penalty, you get McDavid and do a search pass to him first thing you can when you have the puck. Find McDavid almost instantaneously. Have him get a shot at overtime winner.
That's what I would think, Alec. That would be my absolute call, not just because I picked him, but you got to imagine he's stewing at the penalty, and you got to imagine he's fresh. So that is a scare, and you have to make sure, at least with the minute left in that power play, if you have any play where it's almost outside the zone, you can't lose it because Connor McDavid could have a breakaway to end the game.
You know what else could be a scare? Dallas is used to want to end it quickly here.
So they're going full bore here right now with the minute now. They're trying to win this game. They're not even thinking about anything extended. I don't know if this is a gamble, but honestly, I like it, Alec.
Yeah, I like it too. I think they got to try and end this one quick because I think Edmonton's motivated right now. They know they got to take this game and they want a chance in the series, I think.
So we're all on board here. We like this.
Yeah, I like this timeout for Dallas. It gives them the energy to potentially end the 18 straight killed for Edmonton, given that the first half of a 4-minute double liner counts as a 2-minute liner. So it's 18 straight. Edmonton's trying to get 19.
Here's a sauce pass. It'll get blocked in amongst the traffic. High slot now, Dallas. Another wrister. This one goes wide and off the end boards. Can they keep it in? Yes, they will near the right side dot. It's Miro Heiskanen again, top line out there. Johnston with a ripper. This one goes wide near the left side dot. Back Heiskanen for Wyatt Johnston. Johnston extra pass. This will go back to Miro. Touch. This puck's moving beautifully, and the shot is saved with the left pad of Skinner. Down to 20 seconds. Edmonton shovels it out of the zone. Connor McDavid set to return in 15 seconds with the score still tied at 2. Miro Heiskanen, one more entry. Good finish of a hit, knocks one of the Stars off the puck. This is near the right. McDavid set to exit in 5. Lindell keeps it in. Power play expired. Here comes McDavid. Slapper. This is blocked. McDavid probably isn't all the way down yet. He's got the puck. He'll keep it alive now near the right side dot. So Edmonton, perfect on the penalty kill. Maybe they can attack now with a. As this is Wyatt Johnson and Esa Lindell. So now it's the main thing for Kris Knoblauch. Get all your forward lines out there and get settled and get going. Now you can essentially start fresh. Darnell Nurse. Is this one sent down? This is bounced off of Pavelski. Mason Marchment cross pass, but that was too far for Duchene, who was back out there from getting repairs. McDavid still out there. Here's an entry now for the Oilers. Rister stopped by Ottinger. They'll hold 14:58 in the first OT.
That was Zach Hyman who took that last shot over the right circle at 19 for the Oilers in penalty killing in the playoffs. So perfect through this streak. Mason Marchment, it's a nice speed right between the legs of Draisaitl to find the open back to Duchene. That's the last overtime playoff winner for the Stars. As a series winner, Hyman trying to go 5 on Ottinger. Ottinger closed it out rather quickly.
As we said, 14:58 in this OT. Should we need it all? Draisaitl wins a quick shot. This is Kane. After the second attempt, the Oilers were close, but Dallas trying to funnel in front of the net and keep Ottinger safe. Evander Kane off the tie-up. Here is Chris Tanev now. Tanev, Kane, Holloway all trying to join in on the fun. This puck is not moving yet near the left side red line. Dallas trying to emerge, but it's sent back to Evander. Still now near the left dot. Who's going to get this puck? Dylan Holloway trying to get a stick on it. Dallas finally emerge. Outstretched pass. And this was going for a potential breakaway for Foxa, but it went to Skinner instead.
Yeah, missed. That potentially ended that missed the mark. And that was out of his reach on the stick. Trying to find him over his right. And that pass was too far for him. Oilers are trying to end this one, and that was all closed off with the defense right in front of Ottinger.
Tyler Seguin being profiled again with his 2 goals. You can't win the draw. Edmonton gets it through neutral, but now it's back in the offensive end for Seguin. We'll send it down deep. Cody Ceci slam it around the end boards. Draisaitl push the other way, but he doesn't get the puck. Dallas with a chance for Seguin. And this one's saved by Skinner. Now the other 91 and Evander Kane. It has been a wonderful game. This goes on a play. 30 shots comparison to 29. Still tied at 2.
Man, we were so close Seguin hat trick. Tyler Seguin was walked away by Stuart Skinner to keep this game alive. Looking to beat a hero. He does have an overtime winner. 2012 with the Boston Bruins in the Washington series. And Braden Holtby became the only goaltender that decade to be a rookie to eliminate the defending Stanley Cup champions at the time. OT chances 4-1 Dallas.
Neutral ice draw here. Should say center ice. Picked up by Lindell. Slammed it around the red line. Again, I'll be handing this to Alex shortly. He'll take the next 20. As this one is picked back up and off the end boards. This will be Hyman. And now into the left side, Stankoven trying to press the other way for Jamie Benn. Evan Bouchard will make the outstretch pass. As it's Lindell. Lindell, his pass. This will be sticked away. McDavid, look out. 3-on-3. McDavid, Hyman. And this one is bounced in between the bodies. As now Dallas trying to push the other way. Bouchard, last man back. Here's a lob attempt for Stankoven. That was a pass that should have hit because he could have had a breakaway against Skinner. Gloved out of the air. Edmonton. McDavid now, number 97, slows up. Sauce pass right to Evan Bouchard. Bouchard now, left circle, backhand. Just goes around the outside of the cage. Here's a sharp angle chance. Jake Ottinger goes ahead and makes the save. We'll get a little bit of pushing and shoving, I imagine now. If we go Kris, we might start to see some fists.
Yeah, we might have. Sam Carrick, sharp angle. The last one to jump onto the ice with the fourth line gets out there. You wouldn't imagine that a fourth liner would get an overtime winner for the Oilers. We almost had one last year with Derek Ryan deflecting the shot from Ryan McLeod. That was waved off because of a high stick. The Kings last year, Alex Iafallo ended it. But now the fourth line's out here. This could get interesting.
Carrick, offensive one. Haven't brushed anybody out of the circles yet as they're looking at Kris Knoblauch with a camera shot. 2-2 still the score line. Next goal is going to win this one. Draw to the crouch. This stays in play near the left side wing. This is kept in by Dallas. Now they'll push the other way with Foxa. Give and go. This bounces between the right pad of Skinner. Now behind his cage. Foxa trying to locate as this is stick lifted by Edmonton. Go right to left in the road whites, orange striping, and the top blues. Now for Ottinger. Quickly behind his cage. We'll take this left to right of the Dallas Stars as they'll flip. Now this will be recollected off the embankment for Cody Ceci. 12:05 thereabouts to go in the OT. John Eder with you. Alec Nava on parking as they'll be set to hand this off momentarily. McLeod will send it back to D. Cody Ceci. Big bomb. This is McLeod. Heiskanen will shovel it out of his own zone for a moment as Edmonton trying to find some more pressure. It's a race for the puck. Turnaround just cleared left side red line. Opportunity now. Kulak steps up. This will go to Dallas. Seguin off a change. Cross. Skinner falls down, but the puck never got there. And if it did, it might have been in the back of the net. He just blew a tire. 11:25 left to go in the OT. It's Fogle. Fogle now slowly across the entry. He'll just take a change nonetheless. It's Tanev. Slowly start it from left to right. He'll make a pass. This will be ice. Alec, I'll hand this off to you early. Get a break.
John, I got chills down my spine this deep into the overtime. We're almost halfway in the first overtime. It's already we're getting all the bruise here. That would have been the game ender for Tyler Seguin for Wyatt Johnston. So close.
Yeah, and again, I mean, you look at it in the sense of Stuart Skinner, he just fell down.
He just fell down, lost an edge here. We're going to have a do-over on this face-off. Skinner couldn't control himself, and almost it was the game-winning goal for Dallas, just what they would need here. Have another chance at it. It's a face-off win for the Oilers. It's Echo waiting. Refer over to Bouchard. Around to the right, centering pass it from Echo. Almost ended that one as Ottinger made the stop. Here is Jamie Benn right around. Rushing back is the under 14. Echo swept away by Stankoven, but the Oilers get it out. Up front this goes. Here's a lead pass. Here's Jack Hyman. He's inside. That one up high. And that one controlled now by Dallas as one Oiler fell down. Up front this the entry as Stankoven says his head. Skinner sticks this one away from Johnston. Here is Bouchard. Sends this one up over to Nugent-Hopkins. Nugent-Hopkins breaks free. Here's a to the outside. Send back for Bouchard. Big bomb. The rebound swept away. And here come the Stars here. 10:30 left in the first overtime. There is Sanderson over to Pavelski. They're both looking for their first Stanley Cup. Best chance here with Dallas. Duchene sends it back. He's back on the ice ever since he got that mouth from McDavid. The Oilers intercept the pass. They're on the ice. Now Edmonton's bringing this one up. There's Pavelski. Chipped into himself, but Suter intercepted it. Up for Pavelski. Pavelski off the penalty box doors. Read nicely there by Nurse and sent him forward over to Kane. Kane shoved this man away. Dallas jumps into it right on front of the crowd. Duchene being fed up front over to the near corner. They arrives. Cleared out. And that will be bounced over to Dallas as Seguin taking this one. He has Petrovic opposite him. Seguin's lead pass. Here's a 2-on-1. Robertson to the train. Donato tied up on his shot. Some more defense to go with the Oilers as they have the shot advantage. 35-0. Over net. Dead flat. 3-on-3 back the other direction. Nugent-Hopkins sends it deep. Connor Brown arrives there. But it's tied up. Robertson has 9:18 left in the first overtime. For this puck, scooped up by CC, who sends this one down, and Petrovic will recollect. Across for Seguin. Seguin bodied over to the Ukraine. CC walking the point. Cody CC looking for someone along behind the net by Sam Carrick. Carrick goes back over to the point where Yadler passed down low over to Brown in the far corner. Passed up by Seguin. It's Ekholm on the key. Fresh bodies on the ice for the Oilers as that shot was blocked away by Oettinger. From behind the net, it's Carrick controlling. At the near corner now. That's a 36 shot for the Oilers as Dallas sends this one out. We'll just get over to an icy no. Is in front of Skinner. It's deep. Bouncing puck behind Oettinger, and this is an icy. Chance for Dallas to end it with 8:30 to go.
Almost wonder on that 3-on-2 opportunity, instead of going back to getting to Donov, if they would have just went to Tyler Seguin near the right side. Again, I understand it's a split-second decision. Probably going to be getting the ice scrapage as well, but maybe Seguin could have ended it there.
And twice for Jason Robertson as well, but he rang it off the pipe twice on the power play.
Yeah, who would you say has the advantage in this OT? We could say Dallas with all the posts, but I mean, even Edmonton's had some chances off the breakaway. It was Zach Hyman again.
It was a 50-50 game here in overtime.
Yeah.
Dallas had the early hand here in the first quarter of it, but Edmonton clawed their way back in the second quarter of it.
This game has far exceeded my expectations. I went into this one essentially without any, thinking this could be a 5-game series, maybe even a sweep on this side. And classic. Thank you.
I mean, nice that both teams to show up on all fronts.
Yeah, this has been an excellent game, and I really want to know, whoever takes this one, can they return the favor in games that Edmonton and Dallas can play pretty even with each other during this game? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, they're pretty much equally matched. A mirror image of what they provided through these 4 or 3.5 periods of play.
So now 35-30 on the shot board. Matthias Ekholm 27-20. Ice time, Richard 27 minutes. Darnell Nurse 24. I know they'll show it on the Dallas side. Miro Heiskanen 28-46. 25-44 for Lindell. 24-42 for Harley. Those numbers will start to percolate as this game moves on, but some of the top end ice time. And Dallas's defense is good, but when you get to the second and third units against Edmonton, maybe that's where, as this game goes on, Dallas have an advantage.
Here's Dallas off the dryers. Kris shoved aside. At the near corner, Benn has stick lifted. McDavid there. Loose for Dallas. Empty up front. Skinner turns it away. Johnson picks up the loose puck. They'll try again. And Skinner says they'll do that one too.
I know it's only one game, and we're 8-13 in this OT should we need it. Stuart Skinner has answered a lot of questions, whether he get this job done for Edmonton. Should he be able to play this way for the rest of the series? Edmonton's got a real shot, and I'm happy for Skinner because it's a big game for him.
And ever since that benching in Game 4 or Game 3 against Vancouver, everything has been mentally reset for him. He's given up now 5 goals. He gave 2 goals in 2 periods against Vancouver, or 4 goals in 2 periods against them. Hasted it on the keep. Could this be offside? No, they're going to keep it onside. Then inside. Down deep. Skinner down. Trying to hold on to it. He does. 8:04 left in the first OT.
Good work on that left side post because you had Jimmy Benn. He's shouting some obscenities to himself. He wanted that one. He got a clean draw. Heiskanen kept it in. They worked it around the horn, tried to get right to the net, and Skinner.
You look at time on ice leaders among forwards is Jason Robertson and Connor McDavid, or Dallas and Edmonton, respectively. No surprises there. They are the leaders for both of these franchises, with McDavid the captaincy, Robertson their forward. Stars trying to get a quick goal. That plan comes not to fruition. And here's the Vander King. Andre will slow this one down and leave it over. Back across. Here is Miro. Miro over the near boards. Pavelski. Advanced for by Holloway for a split second. And here comes Harley. Back the other direction. Harley slowed down. This goes to the opposite wall. CC tied up. The Pavelski puck comes to Dallas. Easy save there by Skinner. As that was a slow-moving puck, you'll freeze it.
Shot board for Dallas as this is going along. We kind of a 50-50 proposition. Shot board can tell you that as well, but Dallas is charging 35-34 Edmonton.
So, since we gain control of this game here in this overtime period, what you thinking?
I would, because you go on the other side for Colorado in that double OT game. That was the first overtime they really charged until they got the opportunity with Matt Duchene, which was legendary.
Like face off way, here's Dallas with quick shot. Skinner stops that seeing guy wrister from Ryan Suter. And yet another face off to his right.
And again, I mentioned this before during the third period with Peter DeBoer. There is no mistaking what Dallas is trying to do now. Make Skinner work and keep getting draws. Dallas is good in the circle.
And they've been very good tonight. But this time they lose the face-off. They're going to take a shot away from Dallas. So the shot force has 35-34, but Dallas is still fighting back on the shot force here. Yavor tied up against his former team. He advances puck over to the near corner. Soda plays it out, and several bodies come colliding down. And another one here to Oilers bench more at the near corner Dallas zone. Another shot gets taken off the Dallas side, 35-33, Sodiavesh for Edmonton. Duchene goes backwards. American Airlines Center. Duchene, does he have another overtime winner? Spun around by Nurse, and back this goes as Desjardins on the takeaway. Up front, too far for Brown. Kept inside by Dallas, bounced over to the near corner. Duchene's tied up, taken away by Karen, but it's jumped onto by Pavelski. Joe Pavelski set out for Duchene, and Skinner turned that one over to the far corner. Desjardins ties up Robertson, rinse him up the puck. Desjardins clears this one out, but he might have iced it.
That was a fight off, a little bit of a handcuff there for Stuart Skinner against Matt Duchene. He was in a great spot to shoot near that left circle. Opportunity off the wraparound. Good work by Joe Pavelski to be able to keep it alive, set up Duchene. He really couldn't get a full stick on it though, right? Because that was Robertson with the chance, as that one got fought off.
And Robertson, he had all sorts of traffic around him, tied up by one defender, and he still got the shot away. This was a slow enough puck. He allows Skinner to make the blocker save. He's locked in. Seguin on the key. Does he have a hat trick here with the overtime winner? Seguin jumps on it. This goes back over to the near half boards. Back this goes on a turnaround chance that was blocked. Ray Robertson keeps it off his skate. Oilers shift at 25 for Wyatt, Mark. Save for Carrick, Nurse, and Desjardins. 10. Dallas can't keep this as Edmonton advances further. Here's Yavor racing after it. He rides there first over the half wall, far side. On the hold. Bouchard makes the drive. Now around this goes. Too far for McDavid. Recollected by Robertson. Jason Robertson back the other direction, fighting Harley. Bar is taken up and offside against Robertson. This starts at 5:44.
I know he went offside there, but Jason. I think Robo's best period has probably been this overtime.
Yes. 2 posts and another save, and that he got some of the best looks. He tried to end this game here in overtime twice on the power play and once here at 5-on-5. But still, he's been the best forward out there for Dallas here in this overtime. It's Johnson. face-off win. Some help from Seguin. Sent inside by Lindell. It goes right up high. Still plays it over the near boards of the half wall. And Joe pokes around several times. The Oilers take it back. Here is 97. Sent over Bouchard. Pavelski up to the right. Here's Hyman. Curls and drags it. Turnaround shot. Post out in front. McDavid. Stick save by Oettinger.
No way.
No way. He had a wide open net.
Yeah, buddy, come on.
Oh, that was so close to end this game for McDavid. He's due for a goal here. He just has two. He made. You remember he has just 2 goals in the playoffs.
Yes.
That was so close, John.
I want to see here, does Oettinger get a stick blade on it? They actually, yeah, he got a stick blade on it, and then Kris Tanev, man, he's on a little bit of a lift as well of McDavid.
Yeah, tied him up very nicely. Plus defensive play for Tanev, who stood by McDavid. And for McDavid, who sometimes makes some of the best defensive defensemen look silly as you get another icing. He can be due for one here, so the Oilers are going to get back on the attack off this icing.
I know this is the easiest thing to say, Alec, but I'll make it quickly. That's exactly why Jim Nill got Kris Tanev at the deadline. Solidify that decor, make plays against Connor McDavid, and save the game.
Oh, the boss gets, they say, so close with the reaction they're having. We know a war of attrition, and such has been the case here. Evander Kane on the faceoff, and he wins it. Bouchard loads up, unloads it. Oettinger stops it. And this is controlled by Draisaitl, who spins on the back end, down low is Kane. Evander Kane delivered a win. Another save by Oettinger. Dallas trying to break even here. This is back to Duchene. Left side. Duchene trying to drop it back. This goes behind that over to Echo. Echo beats it up. Here's Kane. Burst of speed over to the near wall. Kane moves around Suter. Evander Kane behind the net. Now over the far corner. Twisted and twirled. Dallas gets this back over to center ice. They send this one in 1 whack, 2 whacks by Buckshot. Skinner leaving over to his right for Kulak. Brett Kulak off the far wall. Bouncing puck. Recollected by Dallas on Buckshot. Side Craig Smith and Ryan McLeod both on this puck. Cody Ceci in the near corner. 4:23 left in the first overtime. Tyler Seguin 2 goals. We got Draisaitl and Zach Hyman the goals for Edmonton. Cody Ceci up front. This goes to bouncing puck. Controlled by the Oilers. Here's McLeod with the speed. McLeod right around Oettinger. Suter on it. McLeod lost the handle. Smith trying to get this out and does. Is the Oilers regain control again? Pass up front. This takes a bounce. Haston collects it. He'll drop it back over to Suter. The pass up the far wall. Intercepted. Here comes the Oilers back again. Here's Fogle leading the way. Warren Fogle. Stop. Oettinger still in play. Here's Ryan trying to tuck it in. Oettinger held on to left. Or his left post, our right post. We'll have a face-off to his left.
I'd say both goaltenders right now, Alec, they're locked in here right now. Any slow start that Jake Oettinger had in this game when Edmonton was able to get the first couple, that's been effectively erased, has it not?
Yeah, it has. Effectively has been erased.
Yeah, both these goalies look good against her. Right now, this is anybody's for the taking. And guess what? Number 97 back out on the ice.
And for both these teams, the winning team in overtime in the playoffs in every game has been the road team. Dallas is 2-1. Overtime goals from Wyatt Johnson and Matt Duchene. The one in which they lost, it was 5-1 the breakaway. Jake Kopitar game 2 in the first round. Evan Bouchard game 2 of the second round. Both were on the road for the game winners or their scores. Edmonton gets it out for their own zone. Recollecting against Tanev, who sends it over for the near boards. Bouncing puck, and Skinner played this one out over to the near corner for Echo. 3:23 left in the first overtime. Center on McDavid. 97 leads the way. Over to the far corner. This one out of play as it takes a bounce off Oettinger and out.
I think Connor McDavid tried to end that one quickly. He just goes right off the rush and says, I'm going to risk this thing full speed. Why not? Screw getting in front of the net. Let's try to see if I can get one from distance, get a rebound maybe.
No, those long drives, like the old school hockey ways. Steve Yzerman, double overtime winner. Does that come?
It does ring a bell because right now it feels like this game, as you said, is a war of attrition, and that's maybe what you need to do. McDavid only had a 40-second rest. He's already still back out there again off his draw.
And why would they not want to get him on the bench in this current moment? Because Edmonton needs a clutch moment here from their captain. Donald over to the forwards. It's Dallas with it at the far side. Trying to skate their way in. They're forced behind the net. Wrap right in front. Skinner jumps in. Takes it. Robertson with his fourth scoring chance of this overtime.
Yeah, he's been all around it. I've loved his game as this game has gone around. Again, we mentioned the goaltenders and all that too. You got Seguin, another excellent star throughout this. Robertson fights to the contact toward the net, and Skinner unbothered there.
And guess who's back out there for Dallas? Is none other than Tyler Seguin. Could this be a hat-trick clutch if you were to get the winner here?
That's what you're waiting for right now, Alec. It's been a good call. He's been all around the game.
He has been. 6 shots, scoring twice. Perhaps the seventh one will be seventh heaven for him if it were to be. Faceoff is won by Edmonton, so those players have to wait. They're not out after CC, but CC gets us down for the lane. Edmonton ices this, and we're an offensive zone draw with 2:50 left in the first.
I'm not saying this is going to bite them now, but we've noted that a few times in the third period now in this OT, haven't we? Edmonton, I think, has been a little these pucks, especially when it's late in a period like that. You don't want to have a face-off and a slap shot end up in the back of your net.
Because that would be a bad time for the team that's taking that. Joe Pavelski, they're both out on the ice. But based off winner, but shot blocked in front, the rebound swept away by the Oilers. And Kane has the clear all the way down to Dallas ice. Bouncing puck goes wide, but take monitor. Thomas Harlow is there. Yet another offensive zone face-off for the Stars.
Well, it wasn't quite a slap shot, but that was kind of what I was referring to there, because Seguin goes ahead and wins it clean off the tie, but sent back. Evander Kane makes a play just to get the stick in the lane, and the only thing he can do is ice it there. But that was a good opportunity that Skinner had to get a piece of.
Good chance for Dallas to end this. They are trailing by 2 shots on Edmonton, but they're going for the win now. Around this goes as Edmonton gets an earth defensive zone drop, but Pavelski jumps on this puck all the way up. This one past Draisaitl, recoiled by Kane. Draisaitl's onside at one foot of the blue line. Harley behind Oettinger. Shots are shot away from Dallas. Instant. Deep pass over to Marchment, who sets up on the right. Over to Pavelski. Pavelski driven towards the boards, but he can't see it because of the crowd standing up. Here's Holloway on the takeaway. 2-on-2 back their direction. Darnell Nurse at the far boards. Far corner now. Driven towards the wall by Petrovic. Backhand this pass. Kane and Haskin lost. Is helped out. Over to center ice. This bouncing puck recoiled by Desharnais. Vinny Desharnais off the wall. Deflected inside. Now it's Petrovic with it. 1:53 left in the first overtime. In this war of attrition on a defensive battle, Desharnais trapped behind the net as he reversed jams his man behind Skinner's crease. Cleared up, and the race for this puck. Here's Carter Brown opposite Ryan Suter. They're both tied up behind Oettinger. Petrovic helps out Suter. 1:35 to go in the first overtime. Here's Dallas. This pass cut away from Smith. This goes over to Ekholm. Matthias Ekholm. This drives over to the left circle. Ekholm right behind Skinner. Both teams. Is the Oilers with the Zach Hyman also tied up. Ekholm, he too is tied up by one star Dallas Petrovic. Benn can't get it out for the moment, but now it's all the way out. 1 to go in the first overtime. Shinobi Sport here will get a 5th period of action. This is up high, stays and wins off the backboards. This is up high. Trying to go over to the right point. Cleared out by Dallas. This time it's an icing against them with 57.8 left in the first overtime.
So now we'll see if the Oilers can take it. But again, you have the top line out there, as you would expect. I think Connor McDavid, his best period, other than the 4-minute double minor against Duchene, has been OT. The best period for Jason Robertson has been OT. That should not come as a surprise.
And given that these two are the best teams, it's not surprising that we would see these two as the best players on their teams in this overtime. McDavid's back out there, so is Draisaitl. Towards the wall by Smith. He keeps it. Near corner. Ekholm spins around. 50 seconds. Now driving is right behind Oettinger. Another spin. Pass Smith. And Smith go down. Suter there. This puck struggling to be collected. And some man's land. Some movement right behind Oettinger. And now it comes free. Foxa can't jump to it. Petrovic can. Now it's a feeder for Foxa. 28 to go in the first overtime. The bouncing puck recoiled by Draisaitl. We get a goal here. Draisaitl speed up through. Dismissed. 20 seconds left in the first overtime. Tie up in front. Dallas looks to get this Bruins. Tag him at coast to coast. 12 seconds to go. Feeds out Kulak. Trevor right behind. Kulak falls down. He's on his knees. Johnston right behind. Wyatt Johnston looks to center. Left side. Now Tanev. Blocked in front. And for the second straight game, the Dallas Stars are playing in a second overtime.
Man, oh man, Alec, gotta be thinking. We just had all this long rest. Matt Duchene plays the hero, and then we get to do it again. How fun is this? We go to double OT, still tied at 2-2. This game, it really has been expected to be like this, as we talked about. This has been an excellent game.
Wow, I must say, I wasn't expecting this first overtime period to get to a conclusion, but that's a phenomenal effort from both teams.
Yeah. It really kind of tells me, at least, again, we'll talk about a little bit in the post game. It probably won't be very long considering how long this game has been. But Edmonton's been able to hang with the big boys here. What I mean by that, you got Dallas, you got Florida, you got New York, or what's left. That's going to be their difficult matchups. So far, so good. I think win, lose, or draw. I think I'm going to give Edmonton a check mark box. I understand if they lose this, probably want to win game punch for punch in this series. This should not be one of those games right now because we're going into period 5. This should not be one of those games right now where this is just a one and done for Edmonton because their defense and everything else has looked good.
Yeah, it has. The defense has looked outstanding, especially on the penalty kill. That's 19 straight penalties killed out for the Oilers, and still counting. Power play. I feel Dallas, they want to find it back in the nets.
The question is, too, Alec, how many more are they going to get? Because Dallas already has 5 power plays. You have to think, and again, I know it's not played this way according to the referees, but 5 power plays to 1, that sounds like a little bit of a differential. I think that the Edmonton Oilers probably get the next one if there is one.
Yes, if there is one, I feel Edmonton could end this one off with a power play goal. We would not be surprised if that happens.
So let's give you your numbers. Again, we haven't had any goal resets since the second period. Again, I got 1 goal call. Alex got 3. He's going to take this first 10 minutes here, and then we'll continue to switch across. And the second, keep ourselves fresh. 37-33 on the shot board. Edmonton's got that advantage. Hits are 33-29. Face-offs are 44-34. That's the only one where Dallas, you would expect them to be ahead. But 0 for 5 on the power play is Dallas. 0 for 1 is Edmonton. Again, if we go back into the prep heading into this game, the power play percentages for Dallas now 0 for 5. So not all that bad. At least for Dallas, their penalty kill is going to get closer to 70%. But Edmonton was jumping into this playoff for the first 8 wins that they had, about the 14 games they played, at a penalty kill now that's operating above 92%. And again, as I mentioned, with about a few years ago, this is not something you would expect, but you have Evan Bouchard, Paul Coffey, Matthias Ekholm, a little bit of change in philosophy. Edmonton and their penalty kill has been excellent, and they need to continue to do so.
They have. It's been excellence all around by the Oilers penalty kill, but excellence by Jake Ottinger in his squeeze on the other direction. Let's not play for the defensive plays that were made, not from just from Ottinger, but also with Kris Tanev, who stopped Connor McDavid from getting a clean look right on Ottinger.
Yeah, and again, that's what we said. We bring him up into the lineup at the deadline. He is the second pairing with us and Lindell. And I don't care how old Kris Tanev gets. I know as far as his career, but he's still able to be that stout defensive presence. That's exactly why you bring him in. He's been able to get the job done. And I will say this. I know we haven't called the youngster's name very much in Alexander Petrovich, but I got to imagine as a third pairing defenseman and being the younger guy that he is, this is playoff.
Yeah, to play in 2 straight double overtime games for Petrovic in your first playoff action since 2016. I know you haven't seen the NHL in a long time, but you get called from Peter DeBoer, you slot into the lineup, and you play your role.
Yeah, that's what Quest. He's the scratch. Young Hockenpus still out of the lineup. So Dallas still has other weapons that they could use on the back end. But that is why you got guys like Thomas Harley, who made a huge push this year. They were able to move on from Joel Hamley, who was a good foot soldier. Again, he's a seventh defenseman essentially now for the Calgary Flames. But there's been a lot of good back end pieces. And honestly, all the forwards that we've talked about the well-rounded Dallas Stars team, but right now they have their hands full with the Edmonton Oilers, and it's good to see.
It is. The Stars and the Oilers, they're playing a test match all throughout. We see for another since 2017 or 2021, in which McDavid and a company, they're going to a second overtime. That was a triple overtime winner from Kyle Connor. The other time in which we see McDavid and company go to a double overtime, that was the Game 5 miracle by the Anaheim Ducks.
Had a good one. They were pretty cardiac during the playoffs. Man, that slow-mo camera that we just got with Connor McDavid, when they slowed it down by frame, it made him feel like he had months to shoot that puck, but trust us, it wasn't that long.
It was like, it did not take long. That one up. It felt like so long that it is for him to get. He had all day to fire that. But it felt like in the slow mo, you think of that, but you get another look at it, not so much of all day.
No, because you got Ottinger with the outstretch. You got Tanev making a great play, and how hard and then amongst the traffic, adjust yourself, look to get a chance to get a shot off. And as difficult as that can be, it's not to say that Connor McDavid hasn't made an impact in the playoffs, because he definitely has. When you look at it, he's still got 21 points. He's got 19 apples. So tons of points across the board. That's the only reason why I would normally take guys like McDavid and Draisaitl. We would leave them to everyone else because you'd expect them to score. And a couple chances again, as we mentioned, from these outside clips go off the post from Robertson. A couple post opportunities for him, who was all over it near the right side and top left. Good traffic on in front for the Stars as well. And this could have went either way. I will say this: when we get to the Saturday game, Alec, I think now I can officially say I have no worries about Stuart Skinner in net.
No, he solved every concern that we had about him. He's lived up to what we were talking about. 33 shots faced, 31 saves. They've taken 3 shots off the board from the Stars. So the save totals went from 34 to 31, but nonetheless, he's played his best hockey over these last 3 games. He's answered every question that pundits have been asking. Will we rise up to the occasion? Is he mentally focused now that
Right.
he has served his benching in the last 2 1/3 games?
Yeah, he is, and that's what they needed, because Calvin Pickard played well, but I do understand what Kris Knoblauch's trying to do. He's the goaltender that's got the most experience. I understand Pickard's the elder, but he's only got about 25 plus NHL games under his belt. That's not what you want to do when you're going deep into the postseason. You got to have your star, Skinner, be the guy.
You have to. He is occasion. He has been playing like the guy for Edmonton that he's been looking to be, and answering the questions that you had. You deserve this. You have before. Well, the leash is longer now.
I think so. This on the YouTube side, I said, how many games does this series go between the Oilers and the Stars? 10 votes. There were 4 of you that said 4 games. That's kind of where I was leaning up until we got to the OT, maybe 4 or 5. Nobody said 5, but we do have 4 for 6 games, and we do have a couple for 7. Honestly, a 7-game series would be pretty epic between these two. I had the initial feeling that the Panthers and Rangers might fit up to that billing, but who knows, Alec? Oilers and Stars to live up to that expectation.
But now it has. It's been living the expectation in game 1, and to see how it goes the rest of the way. normally when we see games going through 2 overtimes in game 1, it could get us into a tease. If you remember from last time, we're going to get a bludgeoned 6 or 7 series between them when the first 2 games went to overtime. Well, the Panthers got victories in all 4 games. It went as a sweep, but it was a very...
Yes, it was. I hope we don't have that situation here on that side, because that was a little bit of a tease. I mean, some of those games were fun when you get the 4 OTs, double OTs, but I can't imagine if you're Carolina on the other side, as tough as it already was this year, to be on that end when you play all that extra time and essentially get nothing. But at least when we talk about Carolina now, I think it was needed to be done with Jake Etzel. That's going to get done. It was needed to be done more. That's all taken care of. I think if you're Carolina, as frustrating as it can be over the couple of years, you don't need to make too many changes. I know they're close. I hope that they can get there at some point.
What Carolina, in my opinion, is missing is a superstar. I know Sebastian is great. I'm just not sure if he's that superstar that can take them over to the top. I feel that's what Carolina may be missing. Unless he develops that someone can score over a point per game pace. They are deep. That cannot be taken away from them. They are great defensively. Goaltending, that's where the question can pop up. Do they trust Pierre Kochetkov? I think they rely on Kochetkov down for the line, but he is raw. He is a raw goaltending prospect, but behind this Hurricanes defense, he can live up to the hype that he has brought up coming down from the Chicago Wolves.
I look at it, Alec, when we talk about them, and I say, and I don't want to say this the wrong way, because I think Carolina has spent money. They've done well. They're actually. But when it comes to goaltending, think about Cam Ward, as we all do. But when you look back at the end of it, they almost kind of feel like they've cheaped out on goaltending at times. But you don't want to hold on to Alex Nedeljkovic or Peter Mrazek. I think they made the right moves. I kind of wonder what would have happened if they could have got somebody like Connor Hellebuyck should he have been made available.
If you want to develop that goaltending into top notch, if you want to stick with your guys, Kochetkov, and we mentioned this name before. I know we covered him into that sometime over the NCAA site. Yannick Perez, if he can develop into a 1B to Kochetkov.
That would be fun to watch, somebody like Yannick Perez, because for the Quinnipiac Bobcats, he was masterful, to say the least. Half of that going into the NHL, I think he would have a very long NHL career. That remains to be seen. Carolina is going to have a lot of work to do in the offseason, and that may or may not involve Mr. Marty Necas.
They're not. He could be likely to get traded for some hauls back here to waste. A decent haul that Necas could command back your direction. The is Gensel and Seth Jarvis for the forecourt for Carolina. I think that's the right direction for the Canes to do. I think they could, with developing Jack Drury into a high-end defensive center, if you were to be the number 1 defensive forward to take over from Jordan Stahl's spots in defensive center.
Jack Drury is somebody that I really like in the bottom 6. I'm glad that you mentioned his name. I love his defensive game. He's got a lot of skill and will. Just for a quick second to get all situated as we see the players come on the ice, but I'll be right back.
Yeah, 1:40 to go here until the second overtime. To give you a reset once again, we on Draisaitl from Brett Kulak and Zach Hyman. 58 seconds into the second period. Then 3 minutes and 19 seconds later, Zach Hyman on a broken play. Both goals were scored on broken plays. Connor McDavid set up the 2-on-1. Tied up off the giveaway from Brett Kulak as he fanned on a pass to Matthias Ekholm. Jamie Benn scooped it up, found Seguin wide open as the pass was made right behind Skinner. Seguin banked up the easy goal. And Seguin tied up off yet another broken play, getting Donada off his stick on the pass over to Seguin, with Jason Robertson setting it up as Robertson fired it off of the Donada's stick Inbound Seguin. He had many good chances to end it here in this first overtime. Looks two of them hit the post. On the two others were stopped by Skinner. Tyler Seguin had an opportunity to end it here in this first overtime, and Connor McDavid all alone down low. His shot was forced out to the outside by Kris, making life easier for Jake Oettinger, which is seconds away from the profiling Matt Duchene, who had this series-winning double overtime goal on his former team, the Colorado Avalanche, in double overtime.
Come on, Edmonton, you gotta get it done here.
You got you here. He's on the bench to begin this second overtime. So this is the second straight double overtime game for the Stars. The Oilers have not been a game going past the first overtime since Game 4 against the Winnipeg Jets in 2021. They got swept by the Jets that year. That's a triple overtime series winner by Kyle Connor on a partial break at the near corner side. Johnson McDavid to begin this second overtime. It's McDavid taking it. We're underway here. Double overtime here in Dallas, Texas. Last time we see Stars in double overtime. That was the series opener in the first round against the Minnesota Wild. It was Ryan Hartman on the series, on the game winner. Benn is in, throwing drive for Johnson. He gets tied up, taken down. And here come the Oilers right back. Rushing back on defense to stack of it as Edmonton's pulling right around as Nugent-Hopkins tied up by Tannen. No surprises, Tannen's one of the very best as he's on. Get the front, McDavid, he scores! 32 seconds in! Connor!
We were waiting for a goal, and it came from the captaincy. I apologize that I had to take him. He only had two in the postseason. He looked really good in the opener, and now Edmonton steals game one on the road. What a game for them.
What a matchup it is. What a game. Full marks as it is. It took 32 seconds. They scored a double overtime winner, and that was quick. Stars, bittersweet. 0-6 in game one under DeBoer, but they played a hard-fought game in a double overtime match. No shame on them. They'll be back in this series eventually.
Oh, man. They did what they needed to do.
Well, wait a second. They're going to view this for the moment. And left the bench.
Are we going to get a high stick or anything like that as is initially called? I don't see Edmonton leaving either. Oh, boy.
Oh, this could get dicey.
Call the ice stand. We have a good goal.
We'll get the goal now. McDavid has the winner.
I'm ahead of you guys by about 5 seconds.
Connor McDavid. Again, Alec, I'm sorry I had to do it, but I feel like only with the two goals, somebody's got to take him. He's got to get something eventually. Let me take a look and see how it happened. As this will be transition started by 97. This will be chipped down to the left side boards, left side red line. Try to get picked up now by RNH. And just a little bit of a backhand shovel there, correct? It beats Jake Oettinger. Probably one that I think that he could have had.
There's something he could have had there. It was an easy, that was one puck that you wish he could have had back. But unlike the 4 goals prior, this was not a broken play.
No.
This McDavid was left all alone at the slot. You do not leave McDavid all alone at the slot. He's going to fight.
Yeah, and again, I think it's really one of the situations, as you just mentioned, Alec. It's easy to get discombobulated when the period still starts and you're looking to get involved. You can't leave number 97 alone.
Yeah. At any point. Go ahead, Owen.
I agree. It was. I cannot give McDavid a chance to do what he does best, and then, well.
Hey, well, you did second OT.
Yeah.
That's funny how that works. Second overtime, you get the quick double overtime winners. These Oilers played good defense. Well, to answer that question, the Oilers are playing their best defense in the McDavid era. You can say this year, and it's carrying on to this game.
I know.
Full marks of that.
And I know it's just one game, Alec, and I'll keep this post game short because it's been a long one for you. Good job on the play-by-play. I appreciate you guys joining me.
It was a fun one, but it's late.
Yeah, thank you, Owen. I appreciate it. I just want to ask you one last question here, Alec. It's just game And it's the same thing that I'll say alongside with the New York Rangers. However, does this game give you the belief system that the Edmonton Oilers can make it to the Stanley Cup Finals? Because I'm going to tell you my answer in one word and one word only. Yes.
Anything can happen here. Let's start with that. I'm going to step at a time before I can put the Oilers into the Stanley Cup Final. My belief in them has gone up a bit here, but I'll take it one step at a time with the Oilers. Because I know the Stars, they can match it, but the Oilers continuing on their great defense, it is possible. I'm not going to say yes or no because I'll have to hold on that for the moment as I'm going to take it one step at a time as I've said it, but the belief is there.
It's interesting how it goes. Yesterday about the Rangers, and again, people were saying it'd be a 5-game series in between Ian, yourself, and Cooper Hopkins. And I said I'm taking one step at a time. And in this way, I'm doing the reverse flex for Edmonton, a team that I don't even normally cheer for, but I was just so impressed about the way that they played today. And we'll see what happens. I think I'll tell you this now. I'm officially on board for Saturday. So I'm going to take the off day today, and I'll see you this weekend. You guys have a good one.
See you guys on Saturday.
We're going to talk to Connor McDavid in just a moment here, but listen, if you walked away, you missed it. But it felt like
pretty fun, guys. Connor McDavid, and the Edmonton Oilers win this one 3-2 in an instant classic. It was short in the double OT, and if you walked away, you probably missed it. It was a good one. Have a good one. We'll see you Saturday.